They're coming.
Because that's how we do things.
If you go to the polls today and you put a mark by that man's name, you are a fool.
No, he's keeping me safe, Bill.
Caravans. Well, sure, Bill, he exaggerates. He exaggerates because he's trying to make the point that these things are dangerous. We have to be careful. We have to be on guard. That's what I was trying to tell you about the women yesterday, Gina.
That's the thing. He doesn't exaggerate. He lies. They just need to start calling it that.
It's not lying, Kerry. It's an exaggeration to make the point because people don't understand unless you make the point.
He lies.
No. All right. So let's not.
All right.
I wore my pussy hat today.
Yay.
Hello. I figured that was...
Then as I'm going out of the house today, I see this. It just came in the mail yesterday, this copy of New York Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And New York Magazine has here 72 years of school shootings by those who survived them. 72 years. And it's pictures of half unclothed and totally unclothed survivors of school shootings.
With their scars.
Showing their scars.
Ugh.
Their horrific wounds.
And those are the scars you can see. There are plenty of scars they have that we can't see.
Mental scars. But these are these are people who anyway.
But good news, Idris Elba, sexiest man alive. That's the good news.
Stuart Graves, sexiest man alive. Stuart, our good friend of the program, photographer, he's always up at Sundance, has a picture of himself, a selfie, as he does up there every year, with Idris Elba.
Yeah.
And it's sexiest man. Idris was named the sexiest man alive. Is it People? And sexiest man alive. And,
I retweeted that.
And he is very sexy.
Yes.
I retweeted that picture of Stuart and Idris as well, but I put on there, Stuart, with exclamation point. Because, Stuart has a remarkable facility to have exactly the same toothy smile in every single selfie he does.
And that camera that he's using is not a phone camera. It's a regular camera. And he's able to do those selfies without seeing the frame.
Yeah, he just holds it up and
he knows exactly what he's doing.
We love Stuart.
All right, well, we probably ought to get the show going so we can get the hell out of here and hide.
And hide. No, we're going to celebrate, Bill. Come on. We're going to celebrate.
We'll start the show officially in just a couple of minutes, and we'll take your check-ins if you have a mind. I had a question. 3 words or less. How do you occupy your free time? But how about let's just change it. 3 words or less. How do you feel about Election Day?
Okay.
How do you feel about Election Day today? How do you feel? 3. Just describe how you feel on this Election Day. 3 words or less. Call 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show. 877-602-9696. How do you feel about this Election Day? And, most of you will probably just say, glad it's over.
Yeah.
But
besides glad it's over,
yeah.
How do you feel about Election Day?
Yeah.
Because I got news for you. It ain't over.
No.
And it's not going to be over for weeks because California takes weeks to finish up their counting.
And we're going to have some really close races here. And
there's a huge storm in Texas and other parts of the country that's going to hold up election and voting and so forth. So anyway, 877-602-9696, and we'll officially begin the program in just a few minutes. And, winter is coming, by the way.
I need to go to Big O Tires and because I've got the tire pressure gauge that's telling me all my tires are low.
No, it's that time of year.
And I know it's just because of the colder air, but I just want them to check it, just make me feel better about it.
Well, Big O Tires is the team you trust. And they will top off those tires for you and get them right for winter. Also, you need maybe snow tires. A lot of people do. So Big O has snow tires starting at just $49.95. Big O knows that tires can be expensive, and that's why they have no credit needed financing. So no matter what your budget, no matter what your situation, Big O has you covered. They have the lowest price on every tire every day, and they carry all the major brands too: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Nitto, Continental, Cooper, and more. I like the Big O brand. 40 locations from Logan to Richfield. Find a Big O tire store near you. I like the one on 2nd East and South Temple. Big O Tires, the team you trust. BigOTires.com.
We're giving away an iPad every weekday in the Mac Warehouse Apple Harvest. And you get an iPad, and you get an iPad, and you back there, you get an iPad. Winning an iPad is cool and all, but the best part is that all iPad winners are qualified to win an iMac. Enter now at x96.com or by texting MAC to 33986. Message and data rates apply. iPads galore. Don't miss Mac Warehouse November specials. iPad Air $159.99. 13-inch MacBook Pro $399.99. Plus, spend $500 or more and get a free set of Level Black Viper Series wireless headphones. For more details and store address, check out MacWarehouseDeals.com.
It's a normal day. You're rushing out the door to get to work.
Recently on the Rachel Ray Show, she was promoting her new fragrance, which she calls Fancy. It's $85. She sprayed some in the air and then started naming all the benefits. The main one was that it allows you to fart and nobody can smell it.
That's a selling point.
That's what she said. She said if you're in an elevator and you're wearing this perfume.
She's a classy one.
Do they have a guy's version? Because, boy, I tell you, I'm holding...
You want to wear something called Fancy?
I'm holding one back right now, and I don't want to...
Go ahead.
I don't want to hurt you guys.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Go on.
Why?
Do it.
Go
do
outside.
It. Come on, chicken. Come on, do it.
Don't.
Do it.
Not chicken. I'm just not sure you really want
Do
that.
it.
Why do you want him to do that?
Do it. I don't believe him. I don't believe he's holding one.
I believe he always has one ready.
And I don't believe...
I believe he
just
can...
put the microphone down.
Don't do it. I'll leave the room.
And I don't believe it's going to be as bad as you say.
Jeez. Well, you weren't serious?
That's the lowest we have ever sung on the radio.
And I didn't even go all the way.
Oh, man.
There's more.
That's dangerous. Yeah, he did. I made him. I made him.
You know how I am with peer pressure. Here, Carrie, have a drink. Here, Carrie, fart. You know, pull my finger. Listen, it started when I was a kid. It started when I was a kid. My dad used to make me pull his finger.
He did. I don't smell anything. Seems fine.
It'll circulate.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, maybe we better take a break.
I haven't been eating much meat lately, so.
Oh, geez. Well,
You know, for someone that just tuned into this show for the first time,
I know
just
they would.
now,
we don't usually do that.
We've lost them forever.
Usually,
really?
You know, we're.
Do you think? You don't think that they could forgive us just this one?
I can't forgive you.
Now, long-time listeners of the Radio from Hell show, if you'd like to call us now.
Listen, I was goaded into it.
I did.
Hope
I
you're
pushed
both
him.
happy.
He was calling me names. He was pointing at me.
I pushed him. It's a good thing there wasn't a cliff.
I'm glad we don't have a sponsor for the boner right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll ever have one either after that. Oh, my God.
He made me. All right. Uh-oh.
Weather?
Somebody just texted and says, well, that's why you guys have a new three-year contract.
And Sue just texted in, I am so proud to be your wife
Your
right
bags
now.
are on the porch.
I also just got a texter that says, I can smell it from here.
It really is bad.
Is it?
Well, I've been holding it all morning. I haven't had a chance to leave.
I know what that's like. I
figure I'd be fine until, at 10.
Yeah.
I really started to kink up, and then you talked about that perfume.
Oh, God, I can't believe you did that.
Now, listen, how do you guys know it wasn't just a recording of a fart?
It wasn't. He put the microphone
down.
Yeah.
Shut up. It could have just been a recording of a fart. You don't know.
You don't, but I'm here to tell you it wasn't.
Well, see, these guys are selling it. They're acting.
Nope. That was real.
Oh, man.
Great.
Oh, wait a minute. Huh? Wait a minute. Oh.
Don't.
Yeah, it was real. Told you. Yeah.
Thought you were gonna do it
No.
too.
All right. I don't have one, or I might. Is it like yawning? It just, once somebody does it, everybody
It's
just
contagious.
No.
Just
No. Okay. All right. Teen right now, and I guess we should start the show.
Do we have anybody checking in?
Well, we should invite them to 877-602-9696.
And you can tell us in 3 words or less, other than glad it's over, how are you feeling on this election day? Huh? How you feeling? All right, but let's officially begin the program, shall we?
Brought to you by Del Taco. Their new epic triple meat burrito has triple the meat for triple the flavor. Hand-grilled carne asada, chicken, and crispy bacon. That's an epic burrito. Participation may vary.
So the moon, it's out there. Let me just look here.
Well, it's always out there.
Yeah, but you can't see it, really. It's 1.6% of full. So it's just barely there. But what there is of it will set today at 5:13 p.m. Today being Tuesday. It's the 6th day of November in the year of our Lord 2018. And this is North America's most risible radio broadcast.
Risible
Means laughable.
Ah.
Ha! Ha!
We say we say to people, oh, we do a radio broadcast, and they go, ha! I've heard that. Yeah! It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, the Sons of Soros, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Richard Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, not here today.
No.
His birthday is, it's tomorrow. I'm told by people who know him. I'm not related to him.
Why would you know then?
Just people who know him have
So
told me.
is this a little birthday trip he's taking?
That's what I am given to understand by some friends of his who have told me that.
He is the Prince of Las Vegas, so I think that's where he went, right?
He does. He does love Las
He told me he
Vegas.
wasn't going to Penn and Teller, and then yesterday he posts a picture of Penn and Teller. Of course, he
Well,
went to Penn and Teller.
Yes.
Well, he's easily swayed.
All right, I'll go to Penn and Teller.
I think Cynthia
Yes.
is doing Dylan Allred's job today. Cynthia, also no relation to me.
And you don't know when her birthday is either.
I have no idea when Cynthia's birthday is, and I don't want to know because I'd be obligated to then forget yet another birthday, and I don't want to do that.
Do you know what she's doing while she's running the cameras today?
I heard you say, yeah.
She's voting.
She's filling out her ballot.
Yep.
So that's her mail-in ballot?
Well, you can take your mail-in ballot, Carrie Jackson, to the polls, and they have a little box. Do
Do you know where to take it, Cynthia? When you fill it out, you know where to take it? All right.
If you don't know, vote.utah.gov. But if you take it, Carrie, you know how people are like, I want the sticker. They'll give you a sticker.
Oh, there you go. Or you can take it to your county clerk's office as well. That's another place you can take it.
So if you need any help with that, Cynthia, we'll happy to help you.
Do you need a ride to the polls, Cynthia?
No? A snack so you don't get tired filling
do-
out the ballot?
You need a piece of ribbon candy?
I thought I heard that Lyft is giving half-price rides to the
I've
polls
got
today.
something about that here. I'll find that for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, now let's get to check-in, shall we? Is that what we do now?
Brought to you by the Downtown Farmers Market, presenting the Winter Market Saturdays from 10 to 2, starting November 10th at the Rio Grande Depot. Shop fresh local goods from local purveyors. More details at slcfarmersmarket.org.
Oh, Cynthia, are you a U student? You can take it to the Marriott Library.
There's a box there.
Thank you, Stephanie. All right. Let's begin. This is Alex.
Hi, Alex. Alex? I don't hear anything there. Wait.
There we go. Alex is there. Sorry, I was doing some work.
Alex, hi.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Alex, 3 words or less, how do you feel on this election day?
Nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Are you running?
No, I've just been waiting for a blue wave for about 2 years now.
Well, I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not
predict
hopeful.
anything anymore.
I'm not hopeful. Yeah, you shouldn't, Gina. Don't predict anything,
No,
please.
I'm not.
No, I did a deep dive read about gerrymandering yesterday, and I'm not as hopeful.
Don't stop.
So,
All right.
Well, I'm with Arnold on that. Let's terminate gerrymandering.
all right.
Thanks,
Thank
Alex.
you.
Alex. Yeah.
Let's go to Kenna.
Kenna.
Hello.
Hello, Kenna. On this election day, 3 words or less, how do you feel?
Excited to participate.
That.
Have
Good.
you
I like that.
have you voted before, Kenna?
Nope, I turned 18 very recently, so this is exciting.
Congratulations.
Have you voted?
Thanks.
Have you
Yes,
voted?
I have.
Did
Yep,
you?
I turned in my little, what's it called? The little mail-in one yesterday.
Nice.
Oh, you stuck it in the mail. You got one and stuck it in the mail.
Yes.
Are you now? So you're 18. You have friends of a similar age, of voting age. Are your friends going to vote?
We haven't discussed it. I do have one friend who turned it in before me. I'm still in high school, so I'm older than most of the people who are, like within my grade. So there aren't a lot of us, but
Yeah, I think
the ones, I think the ones who are capable of participating are.
Good.
I hope so. Because you should throw all of
Me too.
you should throw all of the old people out of office.
Right?
Anybody over about the age of 45, get rid of them. Pitch them out. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's a good standard.
Okay.
Thanks, Kenna.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Let's go to Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Good morning, lords and ladies.
Good morning.
Mike, 3 words or less, how do you feel on this election day?
Hoping liberals will rise.
Well, it's 4 words, Mike.
Well, sorry.
Liberals aren't that bright, but we like them. Mike, I guess you voted already.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Mailed it in a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, there's your liberal. Yeah, buddy.
The liberals say buddy?
I don't know.
I think everybody says buddy.
No, trust me, I am probably the only one that says that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Mike.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Mike.
checking in.
All right. So let's go to Jamie.
Jamie.
Hi.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Good. Thanks for letting me listen.
You're welcome. 3 words or less. How do you feel on this election day?
Blew the house.
Blew the house.
Okay,
I hope so.
BLUE.
I hope that'll work out for us all.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jamie.
Jamie. See ya.
See ya. Let's go to Ty. Hello, Ty.
Ty.
Hello, good morning. Thanks for letting me listen.
Sure. 3 words or less. How do you feel on Election Day?
Can be a word?
Sure, that is a word.
Can Mitt Romney?
Yeah. Well,
right.
yeah, we.
I feel like he's barely done any campaigning.
I will say this about Mitt Romney: we could do worse. We could do worse than Mitt Romney.
I don't know.
I think we could. Do worse.
He'll talk back about Trump and then he'll just get right in line right after he does that.
Let's see.
Oh, I've seen it.
I'm going to
he's
reserve
done it,
judgment.
You know.
I'm going to reserve judgment on this.
Okay.
I still stand behind.
I agree.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, you.
All right. Let's see. Teacher Emily, glad I voted.
Okay.
Hopeful for tomorrow. Both my
Nice.
19 and 21-year-old sons both voted. I think a lot of their generation voted. That's what I'm hearing, and it's apparently the marijuana initiative is why the young people are out.
Or the guns. You know.
Yeah.
The March for Our Lives.
Let's see.
people.
Carrie, the coordinator, hopeful. Mm-hmm. Tyler, the trash man, cautiously optimistic. That's me. Let's see. Tim, the tree guy, did my part. So very anxious.
Mm-hmm.
2016 PTSD. Dustin, one word, worried.
You know, the nice thing about this job is that the same thing that happened two years ago when Trump was running against Hillary Clinton. As anxious as I am to see the outcome, the nice thing about this job is I'm so tired that I can just go to bed and fall asleep and not stay up all night and wait and worry about the results.
No,
I
didn't
know who won 2 years ago until I got up in the morning.
No, I stayed up.
Yeah.
I was there for every painful minute.
Yeah, you don't.
I had to calm my daughter down. She stayed up and it was horrible.
No, this time do this, Gina. Do this. Good night, honey. I'm going to bed. Do it.
Well, I'll make her go to bed too.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Big boy news and opinioendo coming up. Stand by for that. Also, the X poll. We'll begin the X poll. What have you done on a dare?
Hey, you guys, watch this.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So all that and more on the way. Stand by.
Can I do a bit of traffic, Carrie
Yes,
Jackson?
you may, actually.
Crash northbound I-15, 5600 south in Roy. 2 right lanes are blocked. Traffic getting by on the left. Expect delays in Roy, both on the freeway and city streets. That's the only accident so far this morning, unless you want to report one. You'll feel important if you do. 33986. Jiffy Lube's team of technicians are highly trained in oil changes, tire rotations, brakes, radiator services, and more. Visit jiffylubeutah.com.
All right. I got to tell you about Excel Automotive Repair.
You know, they'll make you feel important when you go to Excel Automotive Repair because they'll say, sit down for a second. Let me tell you about your car. All those things that they told you were wrong with it, really not that much wrong with it. You don't have to do this. And it's happened to me. I said, I was told that I have to do this to the car and that to the car. No, not so much. You don't.
But the things that you do have to have done, they are honest and they will do a great job about.
So if you need a good auto mechanic to keep your car in tip-top shape, that's who we recommend. Excel Automotive Repair, 33rd South and 3rd East. You know, they're just kind of by the Century 16 theaters, just a little bit up the road and across the street. If you're used car shopping, take that vehicle into Excel Automotive Repair. They'll do a $50 used car check on it. They'll do 2 cars. So if they tell you that one is, no, don't buy this car, take it back and you can take another one in and they'll check it over. So no matter what car trouble you're having or just for regular service, go to XL Automotive Repair, 33rd South, 3rd East.
When Radio from Hell concludes, the music begins with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding on X96.
Hey everyone, John Smith here.
All right, so we're downtown now. We're Broadway Media.
Yeah.
Because our building is on Broadway.
Yeah.
3rd South.
3rd South. Now, the mayor has taken an awful lot of time and money to build very special bicycle lanes.
Yes.
Here on Thursday.
Dedicated.
They're very nice.
Dedicated. So I'm walking down Broadway yesterday, and here comes a bike rider toward me on the sidewalk.
Jerk.
On the sidewalk.
He's on the sidewalk, riding his bike down the sidewalk, coming towards me.
Wienermobile! Sorry. For some reason, the Wienermobile's outside. I'm sorry.
I knew she'd do that. I ignored it.
You ignored the Wienermobile?
I did.
You know, you can acknowledge in your head the Wienermobile when someone's in the middle of telling a story.
I'm sorry.
You know.
It's on 3rd South, Broadway, where your story takes place.
So the bike's coming toward you.
Bike's coming toward me on the sidewalk.
Tell the story to me and shut up, Mike.
Yeah. And so and this is exactly how I did it. I wasn't a jerk about it. I wasn't, hey! I never did that.
Mm-hmm.
I went like this. Bike lane. You could use the bike lane. Said it exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as the guy zipped past me, he yells, F off.
Hug off.
I mean, why? I would think you would prefer to use the bike lane.
Sure.
Why would it be more attractive to drive down the sidewalk than
What sort
the
of
bike lane?
What could you tell? What sort of
It was
biker and
well, he was casual, I think.
Was
because
it a hipster or was it,
was
a guy?
kind of a hipster.
Or
It
was it a DUI
It was
guy?
a mountain bike, younger guy, and no helmet.
Not a DUI guy.
No. But then a minute later, so I just kept walking. A minute later, he scoots right up next to me.
Were you nervous?
And I'm like, huh? I didn't know what to think.
Mm-hmm.
He said, dude, I listen every morning. That was an awesome interaction.
He turned around and came back.
He realized who it was that he had just told to hug off. Yeah.
And I went, okay. I just, the mayor spent an awful lot of time and money on that bike lane. I just thought you might want to use it, is all.
Mm-hmm.
Did he explain why?
He rambled about how he's a passenger, he's a rider, he's a pedestrian, he just goes wherever, some sort of crazy.
Oh, he's like...
It didn't make any sense, and I just kept walking. So.
But he turned around and
Came back.
Did he apologize?
Did not apologize. I think that was his way of apologizing.
Saying I listen to your show.
Saying
is
I
an
listen to your show
apology.
every morning after I tell you to F off.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I might have said, that doesn't make it okay.
I didn't care to interact anymore. Once he started going on about how he's a pedestrian and a passenger and all that.
Doesn't make any sense.
I went, okay, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. have you done on a dare?
Yeah.
But first, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Judge Memorial Catholic High School. That's where Festus went to school. I love that school. A college preparatory school serving grades 9 through 12 is hosting an open house this Wednesday, 5 to 6:30 p.m. for prospective students and their families. Details at judgememorial.com.
All right. Here's a question. I didn't see it. I didn't see it online on the vote.org page. Can I vote at any polling station?
No. Put your address in. It asks you for your address, and it will tell you where to go.
Vote.utah.org.
All right.
It'll there are you
no.
vote in
vote.utah.gov.
Sorry, vote.utah.gov, and it'll your neighborhood has
a polling.
Put your address in. Actually, if you put your address in, it tells you where to go. It tells you what you're voting for. It tells you who your representatives are. Everything comes up under your address.
Now it does have a though if you have a ballot that you got in the mail and you can take it to these boxes. Like there's one at the county library, the city library downtown, and it's just a big box that says, deposit your ballot here. You can. Doesn't matter where you live.
But if you haven't filled it out,
but if you haven't,
if you need to go vote in person,
if you need to vote in person, but you can also take that ballot that you've already filled out to your local place as well. So does that make sense? Yeah. All right, Idris Elba, as we mentioned, named People Magazine's sexiest man alive.
My goodness.
And he is a very handsome man, but more than that,
he has a great accent.
He is he's a really good actor, and he exudes charm. And I watched that British detective show that he did,
Luther.
It's kind of a hokey show, but he carries it, and it's really good because of the power of his personality. And he's terrific. He really is. But I think this is even more telling. When Michael Caine was on the cusp of fame, he received some helpful, if peculiar, advice from the legendary screen star John Wayne. The up-and-coming British actor, then 33 years old, was visiting America for the first time, having been sent to Hollywood to promote his 1966 breakout movie, Alfie. In the lobby of the Beverly Hills Hotel, he encountered John Wayne, then the biggest movie star in the entire world. He was the biggest star in the world. You're going to be a star, kid, Wayne told Caine. But if you want to stay one, just remember this. Talk low, talk slow, and don't say too much.
That's John Wayne for you.
And then the Duke said something strange. And never wear suede shoes.
Huh?
Never. Listen, kid, I said.
I'm listening, John.
You're talking too much, kid.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. And don't. Are you listening?
I'm here, yes.
Never wear suede shoes.
May I ask why?
Kid?
Oh, what?
Don't ask, just don't do it. God, you're never going to make it. Puzzled, Caine asked why not. Because I was taking a piss the other day, and a guy in a stall recognized me, and he turned toward me, and he said, John Wayne, you're my favorite actor, and he pissed all over my suede shoes.
Oh, because he turned? Hey.
Yeah. It sounds like John Wayne. Not everyone in L.A. welcomed Caine so enthusiastically. The day after his encounter with Wayne, Caine asked Betty Davis to dinner, and she said, "Stop trying to proposition me."
Well.
Now, 85 years old, Michael Caine, wow. 5 decades of being the coolest man in the room. And he really is. Everybody who's around Michael Caine says, the coolest guy we know.
Can we play the dueling Michael Caine?
I'd have to find it.
Oh.
Listen, you've seen the video, Salt Lake City detective wrestling with a screaming nurse at the University of Utah emergency room about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. And you probably know that he lost his job over that incident. But you haven't heard what Detective Jeff Payne has to say about that confrontation with Nurse Alex Wubbels, I think it is. Wubbels, which made headlines not just here but around the country.
Okay.
He wants you to know that he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Really?
And he's not sorry.
Really?
And he's planning to sue the city for $1.5 million.
I saw the video.
And he criticizes the police chief, who he thinks should have defended him. But Payne says he doesn't have any ill will toward the nurse herself. He said, she was doing her job, I was doing my job, and unfortunately it conflicted. And I'm the one who bears the most burden for it. Wubbels refused to allow... Wubbels refused to allow Payne to draw blood from an unconscious patient who had been involved in a crash in Cache County. Wubbels pointed out that the crash victim was not under arrest and that Payne didn't have a warrant to draw the blood.
Seems pretty clear.
And that he couldn't get consent from the patient because the patient was unconscious.
Okay, we should be done.
Payne insisted that he had implied consent to get the blood and eventually arrested Wubbels. He handcuffed her and placed her in a police car outside the hospital. Then he released her after about 20 minutes. Charges were never filed against her. The former detective told Fox 13 that he'd been at the hospital for about 3 hours trying to sort out the situation. He says he was only following orders that day. His boss, Lieutenant Tracy, had ordered that he arrest Wubbels if she didn't let him draw the patient's blood. Wubbels was also following her boss's instructions. It was when a hospital administrator who Wubbels had called and put on speakerphone told Payne he was making a huge mistake that the officer said he felt he had no choice. So you can see he felt he was caught between a rock and a hard place, too. I didn't want to go that route, he said. The reason it took as long as it did to get to that point, I was hoping I could do anything to avoid arresting her, but when the barrier was put up by her boss, I felt there was no other alternative than to do what I was ordered to do. So he's going to sue the city because he said I was following the orders of my superior and they didn't stick up for me and they fired me.
Well, maybe you should sue your superior.
But
he is the city. His superior is the city, essentially.
Seeing that video, though, he was not calmly trying to handle the situation. He was aggressive.
Well, what he says about that is he believes she was resisting arrest. And so he had to grab her. She was struggling with me, so I had to use a little bit of force to get her out of the door.
No.
That's what he says. Anyway.
Disagree.
Hope he loses.
Let's see. A man who was injured in a house fire last month now faces a charge of felony aggravated arson after investigators determined he set the fire intentionally. Fire crews first began to suspect that Joseph Smith, 56 years old, had something to do with the fire when he was at the hospital and smelled of gasoline. When an arson investigator collected his clothes at the hospital, police say Joseph Smith admitted to pouring gasoline in a bedroom of a home he rented in Salt Lake on October 20th. Joseph Smith used a match to ignite the gas vapors with a match. There was extensive fire and smoke to the interior of the home. Firefighters found Joseph Smith on the front lawn of the home suffering from serious burns. There is no indication of here why Joseph Smith set the home he was renting on fire.
Well, you owed back rent, and if I burn it down, no, I don't know.
President Trump on Monday defended an anti-immigration ad that critics called racist after several television networks said that they would not run it.
Including Fox News.
He called it effective and told reporters their questions were offensive. They certainly are effective, Trump told reporters as he was about to board Air Force One. Asked about charges that the ad, which several networks either refused to air or decided to stop running. So was it NBC that shows football?
Yeah, it started with NBC.
But NBC made sure they showed it during the football game.
Yeah.
Well, and then they pulled it after the other CNN CNN wouldn't run it at all.
Well, they're CNN; they hate him.
And NBC made sure that they showed it during the NFL Sunday Night Football game, and then they pulled it. Upon further review, Fox pulled the ad yesterday. Said it will not appear on Fox News channels or Fox Business. It's very seriously racist, anti-immigration ad about the caravan that's coming up here through Mexico. By the way, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Now, remember when I said yesterday or the day before, after Election Day, that caravan and the troops that are going to be sent to the border, you will hear nothing much more about it after today. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Joseph Dunford, said yesterday the U.S. military will, quote, not be involved in the actual mission of denying people entry into the United States. When asked about the border mission for active duty troops, General Dunford said, the military will not be coming into contact with migrants traveling toward the border.
So what are they doing?
There is no plan for U.S. military forces to be involved in the actual mission of denying people entry into the United States. There is no plan for soldiers to come in contact with immigrants or to reinforce Department of Homeland Security as they are conducting their mission. We are providing some enabling capabilities, explaining that they were tasked with just supporting Department of Homeland Security.
So they're just going to stand there and look
for show.
and look scary.
It's for show.
You will see some soldiers down there right now that are putting up some concertina wire, reinforcing the points of entry. The military is providing some trucks and helicopter support and some medical support.
I would just like to point out what these migrants are doing is 100% legal.
Well, they're not
It is
doing
legal to come to the border and present yourself and ask for asylum. That is the absolute
all they're doing
legal
right
way
now
to
is
do
walking
that.
this way.
But if and when they get to the border,
Which would be about January.
they
Hello?
the
Hello? Hello?
few
Hi.
that manage to make it all the way are doing the legal thing.
Hello? Hi, I was wondering, I'm here and I'd like to apply for asylum. All right.
They're not sneaking in.
Now, they
are presenting themselves at the border.
But Stephen Miller, the chief of staff, is that what he's called?
Herr Miller?
Stephen Miller, Donald Trump's, what is he called? The White House, it's not chief of staff, but he's Donald Trump's aide, has said, you know what I think we might be doing is if they have children with them, we'll have to separate them.
Why?
Well, because if we let them keep their kids, then they'll just we'll give them. We'll say, okay, your hearing is coming up, and then they won't show up for their hearing.
Not
they'll just
true.
disappear.
They actually almost always show up because
90,
they want
95%
to
of
stay
them do,
and they want to.
Yeah.
But that's what he'll say.
Herr Miller is a liar. All right.
He's a glue eater.
Yeah. Sports, weather, traffic.
So I love you, Utah Jazz. Your 4-game skid does not shake my love for you. They lost to the Raptors last night, 124-111. The Titans beat the Cowboys last night, 28-14. That's your Monday Night Football. And let's see, weather. It'll be lovely today. Partly sunny, 50. Nice fall day for you. Traffic, not so nice so far this morning. Actually, several friends of the program are dealing with this bad crash in Farmington. Southbound, let's see, 4-car wreck north of Parish Lane. The right 2 lanes are closed, and lots of friends of the program are stuck in that because you've all sent me texts. Thank you for that. That's the only accident so far, but you can send me something if you see it. 33986. Be fall ready with LASIK from Hoops Vision. Call 877-30-LASIK or go to hoopsvision.com.
All right. Is the X-Pole sponsored?
Yes. Winter is coming. Big O Tires wants you to be prepared with snow tires starting at just $49.95. Big O knows tires can be an unexpected expense. That's why they offer no credit needed financing. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Pretty simple, X-Pole. 877-602-9696. That's the hard part, is calling. We only have 3 lines coming into the studio. So if you get a busy signal, just keep trying. What have you done on a dare?
So this is funny. So I got a tweet last night, I think, about this story about a guy that ate a slug on a dare and died. And I'm going to read you a little bit of that. But yesterday, my husband sent me an email and he said, I sat Mohammed down at the breakfast table today and I made him read this story while he was eating breakfast. Because that kid, he will be that kid.
Did you dare him to read the story?
No, but he's the kid that will eat things for money or drink things for money or climb things for money.
You know, that's the definition of a geek in the circus.
I just thought it was funny that two people sent me this story, and one of them was Joe making our son read this, because this is a guy who was 19 years old, out drinking with his buddies, and a slug was crawling across a wall or something, and his friends dared him to eat it. So he did.
Poisonous.
He got infected with rat lungworm, a parasite that's usually found in rodents. And he was in a coma for like 400 days.
Paralyzed him.
And then he just died.
Eventually died,
a couple days ago. All on this stupid. You would think
on a dare.
You would think, eating a slug. Oh, that's gross. But
yeah,
no. So
killed him.
So what have you done?
What have you done on a dare that killed you?
I mean,
no. I mean, really. It's. Have you ever done anything on a dare, Gina? Of course not. Of course not. Never? Really?
I think if I have.
I'm sure I have, but
I mean, I've done things on a bet.
Well, it's the same thing.
I mean, not really. Like I can't even remember what the bet was, but when you had me eat the soft shell crab.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember what the bet was either, but you did eat it.
I followed, but that's at a restaurant.
That was pretty safe. Well, Killer's on line one. You know he's...
Well, yeah.
I don't know if he can say.
All right. Hi, Killer.
Hi, Killer.
Good morning.
Killer, I'm sure you've done many things on a dare.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, which one can you say?
The one that comes to mind is 1973 at the height of State Street, where everybody was beating at State Street. I streaked from 4th South to 9th South on the islands, stopping for every red light.
Totally naked.
I believe I still hold that record.
Yeah, well, I don't know anybody who'd want to break it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Killer.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I've done that at Penn State several times. Totally naked.
Several times?
Yeah, several times. It was the thing to do. Several times.
I would think after one time you'd be like, well, okay, no.
Totally naked, running down the street. Yeah.
Here's a text. Yikes, I ate a worm because my kids dared me to. What kind of example am I?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
All right, let's go to, let's see, this is Ian. Hi, Ian.
Hello, Ian.
Good morning, Lord and Lady.
Good morning. What did you do on a dare, Ian?
Well, I was working at a car wash, and we had a truck come through that had Iowa plates on it. And so we figured this big grasshopper carcass had traveled quite a ways. And I figured, it'd been through the car wash. It was clean. So had my supervisor bet me $100 I wouldn't eat it. So I did.
The grasshopper carcass on the license plate. Yeah. That's
gross.
You got $100 out of it, though, huh?
Ugh.
Yeah, it was an easy $100, and I'm still here. So.
All right. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Ian. Let's quickly go to Braden. Hi, Braden.
Braden, very quickly.
Yes.
So the dare that I had, I was like a child. I want to say I was maybe 5 years old. I had a neighbor that lived across the street from me that smoked cigarettes, and I was a huge pyro. I wanted to play with the matches that she always used. And so one of my childhood friends says, hey, I dare you to run across the street, grab some of those matches. So I did. I ran. I grabbed the matches, and right as I put my hand on them, she walked out of her front door and said, hey! And I ran across the street, and I hid behind a tree that was not far at all. I wasn't doing a very good job of hiding. And she just kind of sat there and smoked the cigarette like, yeah, same stuff, different day.
That was it? That's the only time you ever did anything on a dare?
I'm sure I could think of a billion, but that was probably the most
traumatic,
memorable.
All right, thanks, Braden.
Thank you, Braden.
All
right, we'll see you. This X poll will continue if you insist. 877-602-9696. What have you done on a dare?
Maybe we should have said a double dog dare.
Oh, maybe that's you're waiting for that one.
Yeah, 877-602-9696.
crash southbound I-15 near Glover Lane. One car's off the road facing sideways. There's also a car off the road on 200 West on-ramp in the same area. There's debris scattered across southbound I-15, glass, tires, car parts in all lanes of travel. So that's causing some issues there. Trouble at the Roy Gate of Hill Air Force Base. Extremely slow getting through there this morning. It's the news you trust from the most experienced team in Utah. 2 News. Check out the new KUTV.com.
All right, the X poll continues after these. 877-602-9696. Brooklinen.com. Yesterday was the 5th of November, and as every year, it's one of Sue's favorite movies.
Yeah, I know.
Top 5. We watch V for Vendetta every year on November 5th, and so we crawled into bed in our Brooklinen sheets last night and watched it. It was wonderful. Brooklinen sheets they're really just amazing. They were founded in 2014 by Vicky and Rich and their dog Dukes. Oh, Dukes, I mean, sorry. It's spelt Ducks, but it's pronounced Dukes. Their mission, bring 5-star hotel quality sheets to everyday life. Luxury sheets without the markup. Most bedding is marked up to as much as 300%. And go to their website and it'll explain. It's not just about thread count. It's about how they're manufactured and the types of materials that they're manufactured with. My Brooklinen sheets are the most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson at Brooklinen.com. They are so sure you're going to love your new sheets that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use the promo code Jackson, Jackson, at Brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. And the promo code Jackson. These really are the best sheets ever.
X96 is the home of the 1 hour.
Red Book?
No.
Ladies' Home Journal?
No, like Glamour or Allure or one of those.
Mary Claire?
And not tongue-in-cheek. Because a lot of times they have, helpful tips in there on how to, host a cocktail party.
Mm-hmm.
They had an article about tips on using weed at parties.
Using weed at parties.
Is it like etiquette? This is weed etiquette.
Yeah.
Like, is it proper etiquette to bring weed as a hostess gift?
Depends on whose party
Depends
you're
on
going
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
but I mean, this is an art. They wrote it just like,
Yeah.
do you bring a bottle of wine to your hostess gift? If you bring weed, how do you go about? Do you smoke it inside? Do you go out on the porch? Do you offer some to other? If somebody else has brought it, what's the proper way to ask?
Are these articles written for people who have no common sense?
Yeah.
The point is that the point is exactly what the point that Drop's making is.
Is that back in the 50s, it was, you'll go on a killing spree, and now it's don't smoke in the park.
Or don't smoke in the house, take it outside. But and this is alongside pictures of women in black cocktail dress. They're not hippies with dreadlocks. It's your typical cocktail party.
Which is ridiculous.
You don't think people in black evening gowns are smoking?
No. I resent the fact that the middle class and the upper class has co-opted marijuana. It should be just the hippies, the patchouli oil wearing, dreadlocked hippies, the tie-dye crowd.
It was just interesting that it was just presented in a.
Yeah, but the way you describe the article too, it's just I'm still fixated on the fact that it's apparently written for morons.
Well,
it's just like what?
But the type of people that read those kind of magazines
are morons.
Maybe haven't encountered that before. I don't know.
Have not encountered common sense.
Well, the point is, the word I will take from you is common. It is now common. That's why it's appearing in magazines.
No, I see. I get that. That's an interesting part of it. But if it were about booze, it would also be for idiots.
Mm-hmm.
It's an article for an idiot. God,
they're not. Why does this make you? I just thought it was interesting. It wasn't the New Yorker. It's a dumb woman's magazine.
Yeah, I know. It's I
get makeup tips out of it. That's what I'm going to that magazine for, not an in-depth article on pot etiquette. Always
is part of it.
Rocky Mountain Power, everything they create is to power your greatness, so keep going and know they're here for you. Learn more at poweringgreatness.com.
So, here we go. The X-Bowl continues. What have you done on a dare? Now, all the lines have been full during that commercial break, so if you've been trying to call, it's been busy. 877-602-9696. We'll free up a line here pretty quickly. So, what have you done on a dare?
All right, let's go to Jamie.
Jamie?
Morning, lords and ladies. How you doing?
Good. What have you done on a dare, Jamie?
my sister, we were in high school, and my older sister dared me to snort whiskey.
Ooh.
Whoa. Snort it. Ooh.
Snort whiskey. And after I picked myself up off the floor, I lost my sense of smell for about 3 months.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know, I have accidentally kind of aspirated bourbon and, you know, had it come up into my nose like that, and it's not pleasant. It is not pleasant.
Oh, no, it's awful. It's horrible. And she laughed so hard.
Yeah.
It was like, great.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, sis. Thanks, Jamie.
Yep. Okay.
All right,
see ya.
Let's go to Blake is here. Hi, Blake.
Blake.
How we doing this morning?
Good.
Fine.
All right. My dare was I was on a river rafting trip down on the Colorado River, and along comes a passenger train. Without thinking, my friend asked me to moon the train. It ended up being the longest mooning of my life. It took about 15 minutes for the train to pass while I was smacking my derriere.
Moon the entire train. Okay.
I'm trying to picture why there was a train, passenger train going down the Colorado River. I don't get that part of it.
It's from Loma to Moab. There's a stretch there that runs along the tracks.
Oh, I do know where you mean now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Blake.
It gets boring after a while. Like, oh,
Jeez.
still-
Let's go to Jules. Hello, Jules.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, Jules. What did you do on a dare? Have children,
Well,
right?
at first I was a really good friend. In 4th grade, my best friend had surgery on both legs, so she was in a double cast on her legs.
Uh-huh.
And I would push her around in her wheelchair to the lunchroom, and I was a very good friend until some dumb boys at the playground dared us to go down this hill with me on her lap, and we totally biffed it. Needless to say, the poor gal was in a wheelchair much longer. I was scraped up, and she wasn't able to come to my birthday party because her mom was very upset at me.
Did you remain friends?
You know, no, because I moved. So, you know, she's out there listening. I'm so sorry for being stupid along with you.
All right.
Thanks, Jules.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, guys.
Hi. What did you do on a dare, Tiffany?
Okay, so this was years ago, but we had this thing we went to at the mall, and part of it was I got to cover my brother in mustard for a dare, which was really awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Cover him in mustard?
What?
Yes, they actually lined 4 of us up, and then we had to have somebody with us that was willing to do it. And my brother was willing to do it. The other 4 people got down on their knees.
Hold on for a second. Hold on, Tiffany. This was a radio station thing, wasn't it?
Sounds like it.
It actually was not.
Well,
okay.
This was for CKY when they came down. This was years ago. It's like 15, 16 years ago.
All right.
Okay.
So, but that part of it was a lot of fun. But then they had 4 of us that lined up, and they had all of us take off our right sock, and all of us at this point are thinking, "Oh no!" And they had all of us pass our sock to the person on the right. We then had to stuff said person's sock in our mouth. And hold it there for like 10 seconds. It was, and I did it.
And what was
I
the
totally
point of
did
this?
it.
What was the point of this?
Did you have a prize or something? Or?
Yeah, I ended up winning a T-shirt that was signed by all the skaters and the CKY band and everything. So it was really, really cool. But yeah, I had a sock from another person, totally random person, stuffed in my mouth.
Gross.
Doesn't seem worth it. All right, thanks.
Sure sounds like a radio station.
Yeah, it does. Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
What did you do on a dare, Ashley?
In junior high, I was dared to pinch the janitor's butt.
And did you do it?
Yes, and I got suspended.
Yeah.
Well, you deserve to be suspended, didn't you?
Well, I'm not disagreeing, but I was a dumb junior high kid.
Yeah.
Can't say much has changed.
Yeah. You can't say much has changed. Hey, do you have a job, Ashley?
A little bit smarter.
You have a job, Ashley?
Surprisingly, yes.
I dare you to pinch the boss's butt today.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, I think that I learned my lesson the first time.
All right, Ashley.
All right. See you later.
See you. Here's one from Devin. I was dared to climb a tree and pee on someone's car. It was harder than it sounds. Control is an issue.
Yeah, I would think so.
Let's see. Streaking did not go well. Okay. My sister told me to eat a potato bug. I did, more than once.
Yeah, more than once. Again, why are these things happening more than once?
Well, they turned out to be delicious.
Ooh, here's one. A roommate of mine licked off my dead skin from one of those cheese graters to remove calluses.
Yeah.
Best $5 I've ever spent. I swam in the pond in Liberty Park naked in the middle of the day for a shot of Jaeger.
A shot of Jaeger.
To earn a shot of Jaeger, or did you take a shot of Jaeger and then do that?
I would think it would be that way around.
Ah, jeez.
I bit a snake's head off for $100.
Oh, my God.
See, these are all things that your kid's going to do, Gina.
Yeah.
No.
This is your kid's future.
Yeah.
We were at church on Sunday.
What?
And he's an altar server.
Okay.
And mostly he likes to do that because he gets to ring bells and do things.
And be in front of people.
And he gets to, and he's in charge of candles, lighting them and
fire.
So at the end of Mass, he comes out and he's got this soot on the tip of his nose. Like, what were you doing? Nothing. I said, did you stick your nose in the candle after you snuffed it out? No.
Yeah.
I said, what? The tip of your nose is black. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Well, yeah. Maybe.
Lying in church. An altar server lying.
Like, don't do that.
And don't lie in church.
Straight to hell.
Jesus is watching you.
I know. That's
Mother
what
Mary.
I told him.
The Virgin Mary is crying right now.
Very messy commute for Weber and Davis County drivers. Huge delays getting into Hill Air Force Base, backing traffic onto the main flow of I-15 and several crashes as well. Crash at the on-ramp from 2nd West in Farmington to go southbound I-15. There's another crash right next to it, southbound I-15. Debris scattered across the road. It's a mess. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
All right, boner candidates, round one coming up. Here they are. Boner candidate number one, I, Todd E. Zenger, have been endorsed by the correct God.
Oh, boy.
Boner candidate number two, Portobello Beach, more like Poopobello Beach. And boner candidate number three, student fees well spent.
All right, those boner candidates for round one and big boy news coming up after these. Hoops Vision Correction, HOOPES Vision.com.
Yeah, the toric ICL procedure from Hoops Vision.
This is a new procedure they have, right?
They are the leader, of course, in vision correction with the LASIK procedures, but now there are only 10 vision correction places in the country who are doing the Visian toric ICL. This is a highly anticipated permanent contact lens implant that can address nearsightedness and astigmatism at the same time. So if you've been told in the past that you're not a candidate for laser or getting rid of your glasses, your contact lenses, this might be the solution. Call Hoops today and see if the new Visian toric implantable contact lens is right for you. Call 877-30-LASIK. That's 877-30-LASIK. That's 877-30-LASIK. Or go online and find out about the Visian toric implantable contact lens. You go to hoopsvision.com. That's HOOPES Vision.com. Remember, FSA and HSA dollars might help you pay for it at Hoops Vision.
Hey, party people, I'm John Smith, and I have for you every single day a
Tonight on the Channel 2 News at 10, it's Rod Decker Undercover. Tonight, Rod investigates Hooters restaurant.
Here in Midvale, the state's first Hooters restaurant is about to open. The management of this establishment has placed ads in local papers looking for employees. Hooters is known for hiring only buxom women. Tonight, I've put on this pair of ample falsies, my favorite blonde wig, and these tight-fitting Gloria Vanderbilt black denim jeans. Let's see what happens when I take our hidden cameras inside and apply for a job.
Next. Let me see. It says here your name is Rhonda Decker, and you've had the previous experience waiting tables.
That's correct. I know at least 6 different ways to sing happy birthday to a customer.
Well, Rhonda, thanks for coming by. We'll call you if we have anything for you.
That's it? That's my interview?
Well, you just aren't Hooters material, Rhonda.
So what you're telling me is that you've made a decision based entirely upon my appearance. What is it about me that you don't think makes the grade? Are my breasts too small?
No, they look like C cups to me. You meet our minimum requirement there. But there's more to being a Hooters server than having big breasts. Look at these tight shorts. I can't believe that you could greet people in this outfit and feel confident.
I happen to have a nice ass. Yes, I could do that outfit justice. You have failed to see me as a person and are judging me on my looks instead of my skill.
Hey, wait a minute. You're that Channel 2 news guy.
You must be mistaken. I'm a young, unemployed waitress with an ample bosom.
You're Rod Decker. The news must not pay very well if you're trying this hard to be a Hooters girl.
There you have it. Hooters isn't your average eatery, and their employees aren't exactly run-of-the-mill either. I tried to gain employment, but apparently I just didn't stack up. The scenery here will rival the majestic mountains of the Wasatch Front. Join us again as I go undercover in search of more titillating story. This is Rod Decker, KUTV News. Tonight on Channel 8, join us for Mysteries of Science. Our scientific staff explore unanswered questions that have boggled the minds of the scientific community for years.
Hello. We're the new Mysteries of Science hosts, radio's Carrie and Bill. Help us explore the scientific worlds of the unknown.
Tonight, we answer the age-old question. How long can a grasshopper live when its head is placed under the focused beam of a high-power magnifying glass?
Use the tweezers to hold him still.
Ow, you're burning my finger. Focus the beam on his head.
The sun, life giver.
Ah, there he goes.
And life taker.
Also tonight on Mysteries of Science, we see just how much damage a firecracker will do to, again, a grasshopper, when it's taped to the insect's body.
Will you hold the damn thing still while I light the fuse?
Ow, my fingers!
Don't miss Mysteries of Science. It's TV worth giving a look-see to. Tonight, right after The Brown Nun on Channel 8.
right, 7:21 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? If it wins here, it's just the winner of round 1. It has to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. Yes, we'll do this again with 3 more candidates. And that's at 8:20. And we'll take each winner of each round, put them both into the boner fight at 9:20, and that's when you'll decide boner of the day. Boner means mistake. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
2 pair of tickets for both Saturday and Sunday to the Utah Olympic Legacy Foundation's ISU World Cup short track at the Olympic Oval on November 9th through the 11th.
Here's boner candidate number 1. I have been endorsed. I, Todd E. Zenger, have been endorsed by the right God.
How can you tell?
Governor Gary Herbert strongly defended a House member, a Democratic House member, Monday against her GOP challenger's controversial mailer, suggesting that only he, not she, backs religious freedom. Republican Todd Zenger says in his ad that he is the only House District 36 candidate who stands for, quote, the free exercise of religion, conscience, or belief. Mr. Zenger, a Granite School Board member, is running against 4-term Representative Patrice Arendt, a Democrat in Mill Creek, the only Jewish member of the Utah legislature. Having worked with Patrice Arendt over the years, I can say that while we don't agree on every topic, I've always appreciated, this is Governor Herbert talking, I have always appreciated her dedication to preserving freedom of religion and conscience. She is a wonderful person, said Gary. Excuse me, Governor Herbert.
You say that because you're buddies.
He's my pal, who respects other points of view, Herbert tweeted, along with a photo of him with Patrice Arendt. The Republican governor also tweeted, I would refer anyone mischaracterizing her position on religious freedom to Exodus 20:16 or to 2 Nephi 9:34. The biblical scripture reads, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Now, Cynthia, can you put that back up there? Because you didn't read the worst part of that.
Okay. I'm getting to it.
Okay.
But put it back up there, Cynthia, x96.com/live. Zenger also quotes a Book of Mormon scripture on his his campaign ad, known as the title of liberty, in the flyer, saying, please vote, quote, in memory of our God, our religion and freedom, and our peace, our wives, and our children. Now, that it doesn't say it's from the Book of Mormon anywhere there, but people who are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and know the Book of Mormon would presumably know that. I would think, right, Richie? Would they know that if they saw that?
Yeah, it's the title of liberty, Captain Moroni. It's a very famous story told and retold within the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
So now Patrice Arendt said in a statement that she's truly disappointed that Zenger implies that he stands for religious freedom and that she does not, because it is well known that I am the only Jewish legislator in Utah, very active in my religion, and many people in our Jewish community are very hurt and upset by Mr. Zenger's statement, she said. Ms. Arendt went on to say that Jews around the country are feeling very vulnerable since the fatal mass shooting in Pittsburgh.
Well, not that it would ever be okay, but...
Well, but the timing of this thing was just...
Now, Zenger defended the mailer.
Really?
Oh.
Well, on Sunday, after the Zion Federation of Utah and others criticized him for it, but then yesterday he apologized as fallout, including Governor Herbert's tweet, continued.
I'm curious what his apology was.
He said he supports all religion, including those that espouse a belief in one God, many gods, or no God. I especially champion the American right to choose one's own beliefs and religion.
Yeah, in one part of that, he talks about free exercise of religion, and then 2 lines below it, it says our religion. So which is it, Todd?
Well,
our God, our religion.
Now that I regret any misunderstanding about my mailer. I apologize for any hurt caused by my choice of words. It was never my purpose or intent to be insensitive to any person, race, or religion, or to malign any.
But you knew what you were doing.
But it was not, and it was not his intent to hurt somebody's feelings. It was his intent to say, hey, I'm the right religion, so
right
vote
there.
for me.
That's
that
what
was
he
his
was saying.
intent.
You know, it's interesting though, because people that include their religion, I being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we'll talk to other people, and when people bring that into the election, that to me personally is a turnoff.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it is. I think it is to other members.
to a lot of people, but there are
church.
some that go,
Sure.
"Oh, I need to know which one of these is a member of the church." Oh, them. But for
I think a lot of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I think it is a turnoff. They don't want that in there.
And he's, even if he loses today or tomorrow, he's still on the Granite School Board. Keep that in mind.
Patrice Sarand has been a very popular.
I mean, we voted for her every time.
She's been a very popular legislator, and does well.
This is in my district, and I've been getting all of Todd Zenger's mail, but I didn't get that one. It's like he knew or he gave up.
So Boner candidate number 1, I've been endorsed by the right God. Boner candidate number 2, Portobello Beach, more like Poopobello Beach. A Scottish beach has become a health hazard after campers have started dumping their poop there.
Yeah.
Portobello Beach, located near Edinburgh, is at the center of a fight after human waste started appearing on the beach and in the area, and it's reported to come from the number of RVs there. The Edinburgh Evening News reports 15 RVs and caravans have been parked at the beach's King Place parking lot, and that has infuriated the local residents. You got no right to be doing this. Resident Brigine Caulfield told the paper, my friend's dog went up on land near the car park, and she went over to see what the dog was looking at, and she stood in it, and it was disgusting. It's the last straw for me. It's a definite health hazard, and it attracts rats and spreads disease. They're just dumping all their poop there on the beach at Portobello Beach. It's more like Poopobello Beach, Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3, student fees well spent.
All right. We got Boner candidate number 3 for round 1. Coming up after this, Big Boy News and Opinnuendo, brought to you by
Utah Museum of Contemporary Art invites you to a Family Art Saturday from 2 to 4. Discover changing exhibitions and participate in hands-on art-making activities led by trained educators. Art projects are suitable for toddler to tween. Admission is free. Go to utahmocha.org.
After I auditioned for Titanic, I said to myself, all right, I'm going to be...
He did?
I'm going to be Jack Dawson in Titanic.
I didn't know that.
He was convinced he got the role.
I auditioned. I wanted it. And I auditioned with Kate Winslet. I had a good audition. I said, all right.
But you have a southern accent.
I walked
you wouldn't
away
have been getting on the boat in...
Pretty confident. I never got offered that. Kate Winslet, who starred as Rose... previously shared on Stephen Colbert's The Late Show last year that she had auditioned alongside Matthew McConaughey. While she said the audition with McConaughey was completely fantastic, she says it would have been a totally different film had he been cast as the character instead of DiCaprio. McConaughey certainly managed to land a number of other plum roles in the years since, but he said on the THR podcast that in most cases, he's been happy with the movie roles he's turned down over the years, but admits L.A. Confidential is one exception. I did turn down L.A. Confidential. I think it was the Guy Pearce role I turned down. I think if I'm remembering correctly, that's the movie I really, really liked, and I said, oh my, I should have taken that one.
You should have taken all the roles.
Yeah.
Be in everything, Matthew.
I would have found room on that door at the end. I would
right?
That's right. All right. Let's see. 6 U.S. soldiers carrying the flag-draped transfer case with the remains of Major Brent Taylor of the Utah National Guard as family members wept nearby at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. It was 4 a.m. yesterday, or no, it was 4 a.m. this morning. The tarmac damp from a day-long rain and the darkness, portraying the somber moment of a returning fallen soldier. Taylor, the mayor of North Ogden, was killed Saturday in Afghanistan by a rogue Afghan security officer. The Utah National Guard officer leaves behind his wife, Jenny, and 7 kids. the youngest only 11 months old. But his wife says it is fitting that his remains have been returned to America on Election Day. It is a sobering event, and to say that is an understatement. To say that our hearts are anything but shattered would be nothing short of true deceit, and yet to deny the sacred honor that it is to stand that close to some of the freshest blood that has been spilt for our country would be blasphemy, she said. She said it is fitting that he's come back to America on Election Day, and noted that before his death, he had implored everyone to vote. And there was, I think, a video of him actually that he had sent saying, Election Day's coming up, make sure everybody gets out to vote. And so make sure your voice is heard. Now, people were asking about getting to the polls if you don't have a car. You can take Lyft. You can get 50% off your ride to the polls if you need that. You just download the Lyft app and enter your zip code. And there is, if you go to BuzzFeed, there's a coupon code that they have that you can put in there. You'll get 50% off. Uber's also offering a deal of some sort to get you to the polls. And there are a lot of significant things to vote for here in Utah. There are, now can you say, well, I can't vote, I'm not registered. Well, you can vote. You can still register today when you arrive at the polling location. So if you go to vote.utah.gov, find out where put your address in, you'll find out your polling location. You go there, the poll worker will ask you for identification. If you don't have any, you may sign an affidavit. Instead, in most cases, according to the Secretary of State's website, to avoid confusion, also provide proof of residence.
Like a bank statement or
utility bill, something like that. Again, you go to vote.utah.gov.
Everything's there. It's a bit laid out very easily to navigate.
Yeah. So, go vote today. Utah parents and teachers will be invited to comment on what kids should learn about sex following a release of a draft of a new health education standards. This has kind of slipped by because of all of the talk about what's on the ballot and so forth. And people haven't been talking about this very much. This has been the Utah Board of Education voted to unveil the standards for a 90-day public review after a tense debate among members who disagree over whether new guidelines for sex education go too far in talking about sex or say too little about abstinence. It's the first comprehensive update to the state's health standards in 20 years. And I'm trying to see what the date was that they released this. It was a little while ago.
All you need to say about abstinence is, yes, that's the best way to not get diseases or pregnant. Now, here are some other ways. You don't need to say anything other than that.
That's it.
Here are some other ways.
Here are now if you don't do that, here's all the other information you need. It's pretty simple. Yes, no one can argue that the best way to not get pregnant is to not have sex. You're right. That is the best way to not have that happen.
I'm trying to see how. I don't know how much time is left to comment on this, but I have grave concerns that comprehensive sexuality is creeping into this, said board member Lisa Cummins, who represents Harriman and Southwest Salt Lake County. She was among 5 members who voted not to release the standards. She had proposed sending them back to a committee for further rewriting and review, saying they were incomplete and didn't define enough terms, leaving teachers free to interpret what they can talk about. What I'm seeing is red flags all over the place, Cummins said. Our state is a family-based state, and we need to uphold that.
How do you think families are made?
No,
and if you still have a problem with all of this, you can opt your kid out of it and keep them ignorant if you choose.
Yeah, you can.
They're not going to be forced to do this.
This is something they're going to be doing the rest of their lives. Maybe they should have some knowledge about that.
And better to have it before they start having sex.
Yes. And
some of this information is not as helpful after they've started.
You know who Lisa Cummins is.
Yeah, she's out
in Harriman. She's the one. Yeah.
All right. Sports, or not sports, weather, traffic.
I think you should try to get her on your Let's Go Eat podcast, Bill.
Sure.
That would be informative. Weather, just a lovely fall day for you. I'm serving it up for you. There you go.
Thank you.
Enjoy. 50 for a high. Traffic, let's see. Crash on the exit ramp, westbound 201 freeway at 3200 West. Cars are on the right, not causing any delays. I heard from some friends of the program that Davis County is a little bit better. It says accident southbound I-15 in Farmington, move to the right shoulder, all lanes are open. That being said, traffic still sucks, so maybe it's not so great. Traffic backed way up in Roy at the Hillfield entrance on 5600 South. Avoid that area. Crash on Monroe Boulevard, 12th Street in Ogden. All that coming in via text at 33986. Dubbed the Jon Stewart of the Arab world, cardiothoracic surgeon Bassem Youssef created the first political satire show in the Middle East. One night only. You can see him November 27th at Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Student fees well spent. La Crosse, Wisconsin. University of Wisconsin La Crosse quietly paid a pornographic movie star to deliver a lecture to students. The La Crosse Tribune reports the university paid Nina Hartley, she's over the hill, $5,000 out of student fees to speak to students about adult entertainment and taking ownership of their sexuality on November 1st. About 70 students attended the 90-minute talk. She told students it's acceptable to enjoy pornography, acceptable to not enjoy pornography, and acceptable to be confused by pornography.
I'm just confused.
Hartley's appearance was promoted only through signs on campus. Chancellor Joe Groh, university officials says university officials were concerned since Hartley was speaking about a contentious topic that people wouldn't come and the appearance would be sensationalized. It's Joe Gao. Gao invited her to campus. He said the world would be a better place if people were more open about sex. So they paid $5,000 for her to come and say, it's okay to be confused by pornography. It's okay to like pornography. It's okay to not like it. Student fees well spent. Boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. I have been endorsed by the right God. A Utah candidate for the legislature, Todd Zenger, with controversial religious flyers saying that, because I'm a Mormon, you should vote for me, is essentially what he's saying. He's had now to issue an apology. Boner candidate number 2, Portobello Beach. It's more like Poopabello Beach. Campers dumping poo on a beach in Scotland. And boner candidate number 3, student fees well spent.
All right, here we go. This is round 1 of your boner voting. You've got to decide, of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Who wins here? It's got to defeat the winner of round 2's voting to be boner of the day. Round 2 happens at 8:20 with 3 more news stories. And we'll take the winner of each round and put them both into boner fight at 9:20 this morning, and that's when you'll decide boner of the day. So pick your champion for round 1 right now, 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number of the one you think should win? Put that number in the message of a text. That's all we need in the message of the text is that single digit. That way the computer can count it. All right, 33986 is where you send it to. You can call 877-602-9696 or go online, x96.com, and look for the box that says Boner Voting November 6 and vote there. 300 seconds, round 1, go.
Non-stop music for 1 hour, right after Radio from Hell on X96.
iMart Express is opening a new store in Orem, where 2 pairs of glasses are just $38.71 and 2
I don't like breathing through my mouth. I prefer my nose. I think that's what it was designed for. Your mouth was designed for other things, and the nose is for breathing.
But sometimes you have to breathe through your mouth.
I can't.
You know that.
You cannot. Well, what we hear on the radio would give lie to that, but because we hear a lot of on the radio. But
so they said we have a snorkeling class. We don't need the snorkel. No, I want the snorkeling class. I want to know.
Sure.
So we took the kids to the snorkeling class, and they stop at Molokini, and I am terrified. I really am, because I'm not only scared of breathing through my mouth with my face underwater, but I'm scared of sharks. I am. Okay, Jaws ruined me.
Sure.
And it's just a boat out in the middle of the water, and you're getting off the boat, and
it's deep.
And it's deep.
You can't see the bottom.
And they said, "Do you want a noodle?" Yeah, I want a noodle. Give me the noodle
to just hang on to.
My kids and my husband, no noodle.
No,
they just jumped in the water. I took 2 noodles. When I looked around and made sure that everybody that wanted a noodle had a noodle.
You weren't the only one.
Right.
There was an extra noodle.
Yeah.
Those noodles have been cooked earlier, though.
Yes.
And so we're out in the water, and the guy at the snorkel class said, "Don't put the mouthpiece in until you're ready. You can just put the goggles on and get used to the water and then put it in." So I'm out there just with the goggles on, hanging on to the noodle. And I'm thinking, I don't need to do any more than this. Nobody needs to know if I'm actually snorkeling or not. My kids are snorkeling, my husband's snorkeling. But then they have a underwater cameraman come up. He comes over to your group. He's like, "Get your group together and go under, and I'll take a picture under the water." So now I'm panicking. I'm like, I can't hide from my family anymore that I'm not putting my face in the water. Because camera guy wants underwater picture.
And, of course, you have to do that.
Well.
You couldn't just say to your family, "I really can't do this."
No. And I didn't want Joe to know I wasn't snorkeling. Because he's off snorkeling. He's not looking at me. I'm like, okay, I can totally do this.
All right.
Put the mouthpiece in. Stick my face in. Underwater camera guy's there. And I'm like, is he done yet? Is he done yet? Is he done yet?
Because you're not breathing?
No.
You're just holding your breath? Even though you can breathe through the snorkel apparatus.
I can't, though.
Yeah, you can.
But I did it. I put my face in the water for the picture, and that was it. So as far as I'm concerned, I snorkeled.
No. Didn't see any fish.
No.
Nothing.
No. I floated around on the noodle. I put my face in the water. But I'm telling you, if the camera guy hadn't harassed me into putting my face in the water, I wouldn't have.
Didn't see any fish. And I'm sure your family...
I've seen fish.
Did you see the fish? Did you see the turtles?
I can
Did you
Google fish right now, and I
know.
can see them.
Yes,
There's
I know.
probably a live Molokini underwater camera right now that I could find online, and I could see everything happening there right now.
Right, which is way better than what you did. Which is way better than what you actually did by being there.
I got in the water.
Okay, fine.
Hello, I'm Kerry Jackson.
And I'm Bill Allred. And we want to tell you about a brand new Radio from Hell product.
If you're a lonely guy,
like us,
a lonely, hungry guy, then you'll want to rush out to your local supermarket. You know, the one where you never meet chicks, and buy Radio from Hell Lonely Man TV dinners.
Lonely Man TV dinners come with a special pop-up picture on the lid. Just put your Lonely Man spaghetti dinner in the microwave oven. Then, after 7 minutes, take it out, peel back the lid, and there's a full-color photo of TV's The Nanny, Fran Drescher.
This spaghetti is delicious, Fran.
I know! Don't you just love it?
You'll never have to eat alone again with Radio from Hell, Lonely Man TV dinners.
Try the Soul Food dinner, and you'll be dining with Tina Turner.
The ribs are mighty fine, Tina.
Have some more black-eyed peas, honey child.
Wow, it's just like she's really here.
Try all of the Radio from Hell Lonely Man TV dinners. There's Kung Pao Chicken with Connie Chung,
And round one is brought to you in part by a tuna melt sandwich.
Ugh.
What? I think there would be consensus in my household that they were delicious.
Is there cheese on them?
Yeah.
Well, that's the melt part. That's
Yeah.
the
Yum.
And join the Utah Olympic Legacy Foundation for the fast action fun of ISU World Cup Short Track at Utah Olympic Oval, November 9th through the 11th. Watch the world's top short track speed skating athletes from 30 countries compete and attempt to break world records at the fastest ice on Earth. You can get tickets at smithtix.com.
Yeah, Sheila won tickets to that, and so I guess all the skaters have to be 5 feet or under, right? Because it's
No,
short.
the track is short. The people aren't short, although they're mostly short. But
I get it. I thought it was short speed skaters.
It's better if you're low to the ground.
Yeah, I did. So we had boner candidate number 1. I've been endorsed by the right God, Todd E. Zenger said, and then was forced into an apology because you really Todd, you shouldn't bring that kind of stuff into it. And Patrice Arendt, the only Jewish legislator in Utah, is very popular, and she's a Democrat, and Mr. Zenger has apologized. And his apology was... it was not a backtrack apology. It was a graceful apology, I thought.
But he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then boner candidate in number 2, Portobello Beach. It's more like Poopabello Beach. Campers dumping poop all over this place in Scotland called Portobello Beach. And boner candidate number 3, student fees really well spent to have porn star Nina Hartley come and speak to students. Only 90 students showing up and say, well, pornography, well, it's, you can like it, or you can not like it, or you can be confused by it. Give me my money. All right, so as I said, Sheila won the short track tickets, so it was quite a battle between number 1 and number 2.
Really?
Yeah. Number 3, Nina Hartley, she got some votes, but the winner, ultimately, boner candidate number 1, I've been endorsed by the right God.
All right. Here we go. That's the winner of round 1 now. It has a chance to become boner of the day. In order to do that, it'll have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. We don't even know who that is yet because it happens at 8:20 with 3 more candidates.
I got a good idea.
Then we'll take both of those candidates and throw them into boner fight at 9:20, and that's when you'll decide boner of the day.
So it's election day, and, and it's confusing to me sometimes why certain candidates win. And why oftentimes why certain candidates win, and why certain political philosophies seem to win out, and it's when the way I think seems obvious. To me, it seems obvious the way things should go, but. So we had that story this week about the Idaho teachers, I think it was just yesterday, about the Idaho teachers who actually thought it was a really good idea at Halloween to do a border wall, make a border wall out of cardboard boxes and dress up like Mexicans with sombreros and serapes and fake mustaches.
It won the boner yesterday.
Yeah.
It's boner of the day, right?
Yeah. And so they thought that was great. And they have been reprimanded for it and placed on leave, and
so paid vacation.
Yeah, but there have been a lot of parents in Idaho signing petitions saying, "Well, we don't want to lose them," and what's everybody so upset about? And I happened to be scanning through the radio dial yesterday, and I landed on the conservative radio station.
First of all, don't do as Bill does. Don't scan through the radio dial.
Just keep it right here where it's safe.
There's nothing out there. Trust us.
So, and I hear Rod Arquette, a local conservative talk show on the afternoon, and they're talking about this story, and he's taking phone calls about it, and phone call after phone call after phone call people not understanding why everybody was so upset
Like
about
what
this.
kind of things were they saying?
Well, people are just too sensitive these days about this kind of thing. And Rod is agreeing with them. And every phone call was, I'm pretty sure, well, they were all men.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they were all white.
Mm-hmm.
They all sounded like white men. Everybody's just too sensitive about this kind of thing these days. This is political correctness run amok. Don't you think so, Rod? Well, yeah, I do kind of think that. It does seem to be going that way. People just get upset about these guys. They were just having a little harmless fun. Political correctness run amok. Too sensitive. This is the one that really got me, finally. Was an older man. I think he even said he was 70 at some point. Well, Rod, my wife and I took my wife out for a birthday dinner, and we went downtown to a Mexican restaurant. We had a nice Mexican dinner for her birthday, and when the staff found out that it was her birthday, they all came out and they sang happy birthday. Well, they all came out and they brought out sombreros and serapes, and they put them on us. And they sang happy birthday to her in Mexican.
In Mexican?
In Mexican.
Is that
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Okay.
it's Spanish.
Yeah.
They sang happy birthday to her in Mexican. And we put on those serapes and those Mexican hats, and it was fun. It was fun. You didn't feel marginalized? You didn't feel like they were discriminating against you?
What?
No, it was fun, and they were having fun too, and it was just nothing wrong with it. It wasn't even it was not an analogy to what went on in Idaho. Well, thanks for calling. So call after call after call. That's why we have the situation we have.
Well, Todd's got to keep that echo chamber of about a dozen white guys that listen to him happy.
Yeah, that's
Rod.
Or Rod. No. Yeah. And I would also hazard a guess that a lot of those white guys feel like white males are the ones who are under scrutiny these days. It's us. We're the victims these days.
Does political correctness run amok? We get too excited about this kind of thing.
My stomach hurts.
I know plenty of. Well, I shouldn't say I know plenty of. I dare say that there are some Mexican people who.
Who what? What are you saying?
I don't know how upset my friend Sergio would be about this. He'd shrug it off. Big deal.
Or he might not be.
Or he might. I don't know. He might not. But but we don't know because we're not there. Yeah, I'm not in there. I am not a Mexican person living in America. And those white guys that we're calling Rod Arquette are not Mexican people. They don't know. They presume to know. You say, well, we're just too sensitive.
Are white men too sensitive? That they're under attack? Are they being too sensitive?
It's easy for you to say that because you are not one of them. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be one of them to understand. It's called empathy.
Yeah. Do you have to be a woman to understand that?
I'm not a woman, but I understand. Because you know what? I've spoken to them, and they've told me, and I understand.
I don't completely understand. I would not presume to completely understand.
You have no idea what it's like.
I know.
Every month, Bill. You know what happens every month?
Yeah. I have empathy up to a point.
Never goes away.
No, I know.
For
I
years.
know.
Oh, there it is again. Weren't you just here 3 weeks ago?
Here's the bottom line on all of these situations. We're all human beings with thoughts and feelings. Maybe we should talk to each other. All right?
Yes.
Okay.
Saying happy birthday to her in Mexican.
I don't know which part I'm upset about the most. Crash northbound I-15 Pleasant Grove Boulevard in Utah County. Crash westbound I-80 at 2nd East in Salt Lake. Right shoulder being affected there. Crash southbound US 89. This is to go southbound Legacy Parkway in Farmington. Davis County, lots of issues this morning southbound I-15. Also Hill Air Force Base, for some reason, the Roy Gate way backed up this morning. Very messy commute and taking a long time to get on base this morning. That's traffic.
All right. The 3-Bit Gamer segment coming up. We're going to talk about video games in the next break. Stand by for that.
You know, I was driving just up, I think it was up 6th South yesterday, and they're building something, another construction project going up, and I noticed Shamrock Plumbing on the chain link fencing.
You'll see that a lot with a lot of these like apartments and things, these new builds.
Yeah, so when we say Shamrock Plumbing, no job too big or too small, they do the big projects, as well as they'll come to your house and unclog your toilet.
I've had them do big jobs and small jobs. I trust them. They always show up on time.
Yep.
They
Sometimes
always
early.
They always clean up very well after they're done.
Shamrock Plumbing. Now they will do they do water heaters and water softeners and water purification systems. And right now they'll do a free purification system with the purchase of a new water softener. Shamrock has an entire department dedicated to doing just that. Any size system, any quality, no one can beat Shamrock's pricing guaranteed. Call Shamrock Plumbing for pricing before you buy anywhere else. No job too big or too small. Call 801-295-1690, or you can go to their website, shamrockplumbing.net.
Radio from Hell has a new podcast.
It's the Radio from Hell Best of podcast.
It's the best.
We're broadcasting here from Namche Bazaar in Nepal. We're sitting in my room at the Zomling Guest House and Panoramic View restaurant. I met the owner a few minutes ago and did a little interview with him. Maybe you'll hear some of that coming up on the show at some point. An interesting man. His name is Saddam Sherpa, and he is... he's from Tibet. He came here from Tibet. And I was just going to ask Geljan, you don't mind being on the radio for a second, do you, Geljan? I'll come over and sit by you. I heard people asking you today about Sherpa. What is that? Is that a last name, or what is it, or why do they say Sherpa?
Yeah, Sherpa means the name of our caste. We have different family name. Like, for example, my name is Geljan Sherpa, and then my family name is Lama. Yeah, so I really want to make it clear the people who are very confusing about the Sherpa people. The people think the Sherpa is like our name of our profession. So it's wrong. So Sherpa means our caste name.
It's a caste name. And what does Sherpa mean? You told me that today.
Sherpa means in our language that we are Eastern people. We came... Shar means east, Pa means people, and we came from the east part of Tibet. So that's why.
Why did you all come here from Tibet?
Yeah, there's a quite confusing. Somebody says there's two things. Somebody says maybe that time there was very big influenza disease, and so the people were very scared, and they come over here to the Nepal. And somebody says there was a war. There's like a civil war, and then there's a people that they lose the war, and then they came over here. And but yet we don't know which one is true.
And this was hundreds of years ago, right?
No, it's approximately 500 years ago. We don't have exact data.
Yeah, 500 years ago. And from what I've heard you say about Tibet, I mean, there's a kind of a longing for Tibet. Is that true? If somehow you could go back to Tibet, is there some feeling like that?
I'm sorry, I'm really confused about your question.
I mean, you hold Tibet with a great deal of reverence. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Tibet is, of course, really no more. And we'll talk to Geljan later on in the trip too. He's very worried. He thinks the Sherpa people are going to be no more some point. And so we'll talk about that. But that's it for now. I'm Bill Allred, broadcasting at the Zamling Hotel and Panoramic View Restaurant in Namche Bazaar, Nepal.
Has been working hard to keep the Senate. Today, he was rallying in Cleveland, where he spoke out against the Democratic candidate for governor.
He was handpicked, and he's a disciple of Elizabeth Warren, who I can no longer call.
Yes, it is. Hold, please.
Hold the phone. Hang on. Hold the phone, everybody. Just a second.
My stomach hurts, and I'm a little off today.
We've got to wait a minute. We're getting a busy signal. Hang on. Now
it's the news you trust from the most experienced team in Utah. 2 News. Check out the new KUTV.com.
All right.
Well, here he is.
Hey, guys.
From the 3 Bit Gamer Show, Jonathan Teasing. He's going to be calm today, right?
I'm going to. You know, if Prop 2 passes, maybe it won't be an issue.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
I noticed Jonathan's wearing cowboy boots today.
I'm on theme. I'm on brand for what we're talking about.
Jonathan, is there a new 3-Bit Gamer Show available?
There is. It's up right now, and we're talking all about open world video games and Red Dead Redemption 2.
All right. Now, if you know anything about podcasts and Gina Barbera, you're supposed to say, you don't say it's up. You're supposed to say, it's dropped, right, Gina?
Oh, it's dropped?
Yeah. You dropped your podcast,
right?
right?
I dropped it.
Yeah.
It's a new episode.
I have a podcast now,
it's
too.
Dropped.
Oh, okay. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. So Jonathan is going to calmly tell us.
I'm going to drop some news on you guys. Did I do that right?
No, that's not. No. What do you got, Jonathan?
Okay, so the first one, what I mentioned, Red Dead Redemption 2. Mm-hmm. This is the biggest. It's out now. It's already out. It came out last month, but this is all anyone can talk about.
You know how huge it is? I get delivered to my home the New York Times on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. and I believe it was maybe it was Friday Times or the Sunday, I don't remember, a gigantic glossy paper insert of 3 or 4 pages of Red Dead Redemption.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, this game made $750 million in a week. Just like that.
I don't know what that would have cost them in the times. That was just a ton of money.
Oh yeah, they have obscene amounts of money because it is such a huge game. This is the sequel to 2009's Red Dead Redemption 1,
which I just played and played and played and played.
Yeah, and if you like that, this one is a very great follow-up. It's not like they're changing too much. It's set in a fictional Old West area, so it kind of encompasses like the border towns of Mexico and Texas. Kind of feels like that. Kind of feels like the South. Kind of feels like the Wild West, all baked in one. That's why it's this fictional area, and you take the role of this bandit, and he's rolling with a family or gang of other bandits, and they're just kind of moving around the West, setting up camp, robbing people, pillaging. Yep, train heists.
Is there raping?
I have found 0 raping.
Yeah, because I know it's very adult.
Yeah. I mean,
but
possibly.
It is very adult, right?
Yeah. There are whore houses.
Is there swearing?
Yes.
Lots of swearing.
There's whoring? Okay.
Much whoring.
How realistic is it?
Well, I can only speak to the first one, and that was
There's like 800 different like animal species and plants that you can like pick and sell, and you can shoot animals and skin them and there's absolutely everything you could imagine you can do. I watched 2 guys that were fighting over. One guy was fighting because he was telling the other guy that his wife was going to know he'd been out drinking. And I followed them just on a whim, and they stumbled home, and the guy ended up getting in a fight. Like this was like 30 minutes following this guy, and he ends up getting in a fight with his wife on the doorstep of their house, and then he sleeps out front. Now, this would have happened regardless of if I had been there or not. So if you guys watch Westworld, it's essentially Westworld, the video game.
Is there an
It's surreal.
Is there an objective to this?
Well, you're just following the story. So it's this very cinematic experience. It's not as like an open, like, do whatever you want thing. There is a story. There are set missions and set pieces and scenes.
You're not trying to rack up points or...
It's not points necessarily. It's honor. It's
you're trying. Are you trying to complete a?
You're completing the story.
You're completing the story.
It's just like Westworld when they're exploring these different storylines and exploring them. That's really what the goal is.
All right. Okay.
But also, the KKK is in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I just found out about this. If you explore some of the woods at night, it has to be specifically at night. And the question becomes if you kill the KKK, does that affect your honor if you're on the good guy path? Because you can play the good guy path or the bad guy path. If you're on the good guy path, do you kill the KKK? Does that affect your honor scores? It does not.
Nope.
Know that. And also know that there is a way to lure cougars or wolves into the crowd of the KKK, and the cougars will attack them.
I love that. Okay, that one's
that's
awesome.
Worth playing just right there.
Yeah, there's some sort of predator bait that you can put down in the.
It's obsession for men.
It probably is. Yes.
There's the guy on my podcast was telling me he likes to, because they're all around a campfire, and if you want to ask about how realistic it is, take a big bottle of alcohol and you throw it right at the campfire. It explodes. Sets them all on fire, and they just run around like idiots in their flaming robes.
Okay. Well, we spent a lot of time on this. Let's move on.
Next up, we got Fallout 76. That's coming out November 14th. It's on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It's on everything. This is, if you guys were familiar, I was talking about Fallout 4 last year. Really popular game series that takes place in a post-apocalyptic America. And this one is unique because it is their first online multiplayer game. So they've all been single-player. You play by yourself at home, whatever. They're offline. But this one is going to take that universe and make it online. And they had an open beta, or not an open beta, they had a closed beta, which is like a test to see like how the game was. That was this month, or last month, and it went terribly. And it was very apparent that a game studio that's used to making games like for single player and they're at home, so if there's bugs and glitches, it's not a huge deal. This is really troubling. It could be amazing. This game could be absolutely incredible. You're exploring with people, other people online. You can like break into a like a bunker and launch a nuclear missile at a different part of the map where other people could be, and it could just wipe everyone out. And then you can go explore.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't know. So it's this crazy kind of open world feel, which is neat. Do I think it's going to work on launch? No. So I would say if you like Fallout, if you're interested in this game at all, just keep playing Red Dead.
Yeah.
Wait till like December, January when they've worked out these kinks and these bugs, and then pick up Fallout.
I always wait a few weeks.
Yeah, don't get this right as it comes out.
Okay.
One last one that you can get right when it comes out, Pokemon Let's Go. This is out November 16th, and it's just on the Nintendo Switch. If you guys are familiar with Pokemon Go, or if you're familiar with Pokemon, this kind of takes the best parts of both and pushes them together.
Because the Switch has that portable ability.
Yeah, it's so cool. So you can be walking around with your Switch and see someone else playing Pokemon, and you guys can battle right there, which is kind of the dream. You know, remember they used to do it. You could do that with the original Game Boy with a little cord. So this has made this completely digital, and it's like you catch them by like throwing the little. You use the little controller to throw the Pokeballs. It just, if you're into Pokemon, you need to have it. It's amazing.
And Battlefield 5.
Nothing special here. It's out November 20th, PC, PS4, Xbox One. If you are familiar with Battlefield, you'll love it. It's a World War II shooter. There's some cool stuff. There are some new things they've got in it, but for the most part, this is for the fans of the series. If you guys are in on Battlefield, you'll love it. If you don't know what it is and you want to play World War II shooter, you'll probably like it, but
graphics are amazing.
Yeah, it looks incredible. Cool new stories. There's a lady with like a hook arm that beats people to death with a baseball bat.
Arm?
World War II. Yeah, that's what we were doing.
A lady with a hook arm who beats people to death
with a baseball bat.
If Tarantino,
well, they're Nazis. Who cares?
If
man?
Tarantino did World War II,
exactly.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So that's this month. But basically, just keep playing Red Dead, you guys.
Yeah,
don't stop.
That's what I will do.
Have you got it, Carrie?
No, I keep getting asked, how do you like it? And I'm like, haven't got it yet. I don't have time.
Okay.
Thanks, partner.
How expensive is that, like, if you want to buy it?
$60.
$60.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan Giesing. Look for the 3-Bit Gamer Show wherever podcasts are dropped.
Yes.
All right.
Crash at the on-ramps from US 89 to southbound Legacy Parkway in Farmington. The left lane and shoulder are blocked, adding to delays already in place there. Crash eastbound I-215 south ramp to go southbound I-15 in Murray. Crash northbound I-15 at Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Crash westbound I-80 second east. Crash southbound US 89 to go southbound Legacy Parkway. Oh, I just gave you that one already. And still difficulty getting on base. I saw some friends of the program in the text stream talking about that at 33986.
All right, thank you very much.
Boners round 2 coming up. Here are the candidates. Boner candidate number 1. Well, I'm not trying to suppress. Exactly. Boner candidate number 2. All right, get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike. And boner candidate number 3. You women are taking all the fun out of working here.
All right, so round 2 of your boners, big boy news, opinioendo, all coming up.
If you are injured by getting dropped, a podcast dropped on you, go to Call the Advocates if you're injured in an accident.
I mean, we say accident, you think car accident, but there are lots of ways you can get injured. And you think, well, I have insurance, or the person that injured me has insurance. That'll take care of my medical bills. Not necessarily. Call the Advocates as soon as you can.
The team of injury attorneys at the Advocates have expertise that you'll need to get your medical bills paid for. Now, when you call them or contact them online, they will not charge you anything for the consultation. Mm-hmm. And if they take your case, they don't charge you anything until they win your case and get you a settlement. So the Advocates, Utah Advocates, it's the law firm, small law firm, Driggs, Bills, and Day. They're great people too. Matt is just the nicest guy, and so call them if you think you have a case, and they'll let you know. 801-355-5550. That's 801-355-5550, or the website UtahAdvocates.com.
don't say anything. We're trying to, for how many years have you been here? We're trying to still teach you. Please say things. But, wait for a break in the sentence. When someone is in mid-sentence, you don't start talking.
I might forget what I was going to say.
There is that. There is that.
There's an unplanned course change being fed into the instrument, sir.
The minute it comes to me.
No, Leanne, we're not going to stop being mean to Gina. Go away. I'm not answering that call.
Well, no, let me talk to Leanne. Hi, Leanne. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Now, Leanne, have you been listening this morning?
I have.
Yeah, I don't think of being particularly mean to Gina.
Well, okay, you guys are always picking on her at some point. You have to be nice to her.
Why?
I might cry.
Yeah, see?
I think...
Don't make Gina cry.
Okay.
Leanne, you and Gina are single-handedly putting women's rights into the Middle Ages. All right? You fight like hell for equal rights to work just like the men, and then you get here and expect special treatment.
No, it's not special treatment. It's called don't be mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's special treatment.
Don't be mean.
Don't be mean or you might make her cry.
You have to understand Carrie's mean to everyone.
Yes.
Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you,
You're
Leanne.
welcome. I love you guys.
See you later.
Oh, my God. Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
I'm just fine.
You're a great Americanist. What can we do for you?
I just wanted to tell you to be nice to Gina. That's all I
okay,
wanted.
thanks.
I was feeling sad for her.
See, you were going to cry for me, huh?
I was. I think I had a couple of tears welling
Michelle,
up,
do you
thought,
think
you know
that...
what? This is wrong.
Michelle, do you think women need special treatment in the workplace?
I never said they needed special treatment.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No.
Okay, then.
Michelle.
But there's a difference between special treatment and just common courtesy.
Michelle.
Being nice.
Michelle, is it common courtesy? Now, have you've been listening this morning?
Yes.
Yes.
All I'm trying to do is get through this feature.
Yeah.
And Gina is saying, oh, that's what happened to the...
How is that common courtesy?
So you know what I did? I stopped and said, well, then tell us all about it. Apparently
you were being sarcastic.
Apparently...
And then you yelled at her a minute later for like 5 minutes. You guys didn't stop. You just
all right,
going.
No,
Michelle,
I didn't yell.
Michelle.
I didn't yell.
Michelle. Michelle. Is it common courtesy to interrupt someone when they're speaking?
No, but she said she was sorry.
But she says she's sorry every day.
But I'm really, really sorry.
Oh, wait a minute. Michelle's right. Gina said she was sorry.
I'm sorry, and you kept going, and I thought, that poor girl is either
Again,
gonna cry or
Michelle,
quit.
you and Gina are setting back women's rights 30 or 40 years.
I have to disagree with you.
I think it's
Just
only 20.
apologize, Michelle.
Michelle,
just tell Carrie you're sorry.
You're wrong, and you know why?
Why?
Because you're a woman. That's why. Okay.
But thanks for
if
trying.
If I were as smart as you guys, I'd know when.
T1 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories. They are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Remember, boner means mistake. Now, if it wins here, it's just the winner of round 2. It has to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. You missed it. We'll take both of those winners and throw them into Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day. So 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. So one of you lucky random Boner voters will receive.
Hello? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Is it busy?
Well.
Hello?
Oh.
Hi.
My one paper said one thing, and this says another thing. So I will say you could get a Boner T-shirt from Excel Automotive Repair, Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
All right, here is Boner candidate number 1. I'm not trying to suppress. Exactly. Let me scroll down here. There we go. For Blake Spalding, co-owner of the world-famous farm-to-table restaurant Hell's Backbone Grill in Boulder, Utah. I was just down there a couple of weekends ago. The question to her employees seemed ridiculous. She said one of her employees was asked if she was forced to register to vote as a term of her employment at the restaurant. Spalding is politically active in Garfield County and has pushed back hard on President Trump's successful efforts to reduce the size of the Grand Staircase Escalante Monument in Kane and Garfield counties. Sheriff Danny Perkins said the number of voter registrations coming from one home in Boulder raised some red flags to him. Now, Sheriff Perkins said between 12 and 20 people had put down the same home as their residence. That home is a 9-bedroom house that Spalding owns, Blake Spalding. She owns that, and she allows her seasonal employees to live in that house during their employment. Now, Sheriff Perkins said his deputies looked up the home on Google Maps, and it incorrectly showed it only as a shed. According to...
How about just driving over there and looking at it?
Hang on. Wait. What? Oh. According to Sheriff Perkins, his deputies also consulted with the Utah Lieutenant Governor's office, who oversees elections in the state, and he said, well, they didn't seem very concerned. So...
At that point, you should have went, okay, well, they oversee the elections. Okay.
Don't you know that the sheriff, and there are people who will tell you this, sheriffs are, they have special authority.
Mm-hmm.
You know, posse comitatus and all of that. So he said, well, if the lieutenant governor's office isn't concerned, I'm going to take a couple of deputies. I'm going to go over there.
Because that's necessary.
And ask some questions. Blake Spalding said the deputies also came with 2 dogs.
Also not necessary.
Who stayed in the sheriff's vehicles, but that, Spalding said, seemed to be an intimidation tactic to her. Sheriff Perkins says his deputies asked a few questions, didn't find any indication of fraud, and left. Blake Spalding paints a different picture. She said the deputies questioned her employees for more than 30 minutes and stayed on the property for more than an hour. Sheriff Perkins says he isn't trying to suppress voter turnout, but he did say it's an important school board election taking place in that area tomorrow, and he says 20 votes could make a big difference with only 500 registered voters in the area. Spalding fears that she and her employees may have been targeted for their political views.
You think?
She's a well-known liberal person in the area. She has political signs all over around the restaurant. She says her employees, who often come from out of state but live in Utah long enough to be considered residents, have been trying to get registered since March, but she says the Garfield County Clerk's office has regularly set up roadblocks in their way. I believe in democracy, she said, but democracy only works if people are able to vote, she said. Boner candidate number 1, well, I'm not trying to suppress exactly. Here's Boner candidate number 2. Get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike. So claims Christian broadcaster and conspiracy theorist Rick Wiles. And he's back with even more right-wing lunacy. This time, he's claiming MSNBC anchor Rachel Maddow will lead a coup against President Donald Trump if Democrats win in the midterm election.
Oh, she can't. She has a bad back.
Even worse, it's a few hours, and we're going to have to throw together an outfit at the last minute. What is that? No, never mind. America, you've been homosexualized. You've been Judaized. I'm just telling you how it is, Will Wiles told viewers. She was spewing out last night calls for revolution. She was telling the left, take a deep breath. We're at the moment, it's coming. We're almost there. We're going to remove him from the White House. We're about 72 hours, possibly 72 hours from a coup, ladies and gentlemen.
She's not said any of those things.
No. Be prepared that you're going to turn on the TV and you're going to see helicopters hovering over the White House.
Really?
With men clad in black,
Really?
rappelling down ropes, entering the White House, prepared for a shootout in the White House. As Secret Service agents shoot commandos coming in to arrest President Trump. Oh, but he wasn't finished there. This is how close we are to revolution. Be prepared for a mob, a leftist mob, to tear down the gates, the fence at the White House, go into the White House and drag him out with his family and decapitate them on the lawn of the White House, he said. Do people really believe this kind of stuff?
I think some do, yeah.
Boner candidate number 2, get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike.
All right.
Coming up, boner candidate number 3, you women are taking all the fun out of working here.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 2, coming up after this big boy news and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
Oh, I can talk now? I can talk now? This is my spot where I'm allowed to say something?
Did I miss something?
Apparently.
It's
because I said, hold on, I'm getting to that.
That's not how you said it.
I said, hold on.
Winter is coming. Big O Tires wants you to be prepared with snow tires starting at just $49.95. Big O Tires knows that can be an unexpected expense. That's why they offer no credit needed financing. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
You know, Pam Anderson is not a supporter of the hashtag #MeToo movement. In a new interview with Australia's 60 Minutes on Sunday, the former Playboy model slammed hashtag #MeToo, claiming it's gone too far. I think this feminism can go too far, Anderson said. I'm a feminist, but I think this third wave of feminism is just a bore. She added, I think it paralyzes men. I think this hashtag #MeToo movement is a bit too much for me. I'm sorry. I'll probably get killed for saying that. Anderson brought up the allegations against Harvey Weinstein and said it was common sense to avoid these types of business meetings. My mother taught me, don't go to a hotel with a stranger. If someone opens the door in a bathrobe and it's supposed to be a business meeting, maybe I should go with somebody else, she said. I think some things are just common sense. Or if you go in, get the job. I'm Canadian. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm sorry, I'm not politically correct. She's had her own experience with sexual abuse, previously detailing that she was molested by a female babysitter as a child and suffered non-consensual experiences with men early in her life. I don't know if she's still dating Julian Assange.
Well, she might be able to date him in person soon.
Yeah, well, his cat, you know. A woman, 40-year-old Kathleen Richens, is facing criminal charges of negligent homicide for firing a bullet that investigators say killed 14-year-old Zachary Kempke in Weber County in September. Young Mr. Kempke was killed on a Jeep ride with his family in the Monte Cristo Mountains, remote area of Weber County. Kathleen Richens, the woman charged in Kempke's death, and her family were target shooting in the same area. Kempke and his family were driving along a dirt road off Highway 39 when a single bullet flew into their Jeep, killing Kempke instantly. Now, it was an accident, but investigators determined that Richens and her family were target shooting in the same area using a paper target on a cardboard box. There was a forest behind the target setup, and Richens and her family told investigators they weren't aware that a road was through the trees behind the target. Police said the presence of the road was not immediately apparent, and that to know it was there, Richens and her family would have had to investigate what was beyond the trees and the target.
That's why you always shoot up against a hill.
Yeah. Or, you know, certainly examine what's around you before you do it. The Washington Examiner on Monday, now it's a very conservative publication, tweeted or said that tweets that Donald Trump is going to hell. The key to God's forgiveness is repentance. Trump's entire political career has been about the exact opposite of that. Also, this paper is garbage for promoting Trump and God. Now, that tweet has been deleted, and the tweet raised suspicions among followers. The account continued to tweet regularly scheduled articles after the fact. Many were quick to make jokes, speculating that it must be the first or last day of the person responsible for the tweet. So it was somebody at the paper using the paper's account to tweet that. The anti-Trump tweet was reportedly taken down at 7 a.m., but as internet users know, screenshots are forever. According to a pinned tweet from the Washington Examiner, the outlet's Twitter account, they say their account was hacked, and we do not endorse that tweet. So Trump's been stumping and doing political rallies, and he had special guests last night on the campaign trail. Rush Limbaugh, who said our nation is hanging by a thread.
Hanging by a thread.
Hanging by a thread,
Okay.
and at risk unless we keep Donald Trump in office. And then Sean Hannity, who was doing his show from one of the rallies, and then Trump called him on stage, and he said, well, I hadn't planned to come on stage with you, but okay. And he came on stage and pretended like it was a big surprise, even though he had said earlier that he would probably go on stage with the president.
Does anyone remember Keith Olbermann when he donated to a Democratic candidate?
Lost his job.
Yeah. At MSNBC.
Yeah. And Mr. Hannity pointed to the back of the room where the back of the rally where all the reporters are, including Fox News cameramen and reporters, and said, I see all the fake news back there. It probably makes his colleagues at Fox who are trying to do their job, the reporters, probably made them feel really good. Let's see. Duncan Hines, the cake mix company, has recalled a select number of cake mixes due to potential presences of salmonella. The company said the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Food and Drug Administration, are investigating a potential salmonella outbreak after Duncan Hines' classic white cake mix tested positive for salmonella. Duncan Hines said they are voluntarily recalling a bunch of products as a precaution. The white cake mix, and a lot of people buy these. I know Gina was saying the other day, wasn't it a yellow cake that you wanted?
Mm-hmm.
A Duncan Hines yellow cake. Classic butter golden, signature confetti, and there it is, classic yellow cake. So far, 5 people have reported becoming sick after consuming the Duncan Hines yellow cake mix. And then I don't know if we have a picture of this or not. Do we have the creature that is a spider with a dog's head? Do we have that?
Spider with a dog's head?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's a thing?
That's pretty disturbing.
Is that the front or the back of it?
It's an arachnid in the rainforests of Ecuador, and if you go to x96.com/live, it looks like it has a big black dog's head sitting on 8 super long yellow spider legs.
So it looks like the face grabber from Alien, but with a black dog's head.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a Labrador.
It's got pointy ears.
Yeah.
As opposed to long ears.
Yeah. Or I guess it looks like a Doberman. It's a harvestman spider. It's in the same family as the daddy longlegs. These creatures are not venomous. They've been around for 400 million years, even before dinosaurs roamed the earth. This one is called a bunny harvestman. You won't forget the face if you just look up, if you are not near your computer now, look up bunny, just as in bunny rabbit, look up bunny harvestman and you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right. Sports weather traffic.
Brought to you by the Utah Olympic Oval. Join the fun and watch the fastest skaters in the world at the ISU World Cup Short Track, November 9th through the 11th. Tickets are on sale at smithtix.com. The Jazz lost their 4th in a row last night to the Toronto Raptors, 124-111. And the Tennessee Titans beat Dallas last night in Monday Night Football. Weather, 50 degrees, partly sunny today. And traffic, we've got a crash westbound I-215 at 5th East. Crash northbound I-15 at milepost 272. That's 800 north in Orem. HOV lane is closed there. Crash eastbound 215 south ramp to go southbound I-15 in Murray. Right shoulder being affected. Crash northbound I-15 Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Crash westbound I-80 2nd East in Salt Lake. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Here's boner candidate number 3. You women are taking all the fun out of working here. Women at the Under Armour company have been complaining that frequent company-sponsored trips to strip clubs were demeaning. In an attempt to provide a respectful and inclusive workplace, Under Armour employees will no longer be allowed to pay for strip club visits on the company credit card. The trips, which were reportedly made with coworkers and athletes, were symptomatic of practices women at Under Armour found demeaning, according to the Wall Street Journal. We have addressed these serious allegations of the past and will continue to address workplace behavior that violates our policies, Under Armour said in a statement. Inappropriate behavior that challenges our values or violates our policies is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. We are committed to providing a respectful and inclusive workplace. The newspaper cited at least a dozen employees who criticized the recruitment practice and was also reportedly used by CEO Kevin Plank. Of 7 executives listed on Under Armour's website, no women hold top positions, but the company said about half of its employees are female. I don't think any of them were using the company credit card to go to strip clubs. A representative for the organization pointed out that the interim chief human resources officer, Michelle Campion, is a woman. Boner candidate number 3, you women are taking all the fun out of working here.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, I'm not trying to suppress exactly. The Hell's Backbone Grill in Garfield County alleging voter intimidation or attempted voter intimidation by the sheriff down in Garfield County. Boner candidate number 2, get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike. A Christian TV host claiming that Rachel Maddow will lead a coup and that if Democrats win, Christians will be slaughtered. And boner candidate number 3, you women are taking all the fun out of working here.
All right, this is round 2 of your boner voting. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. See, if it wins here, it's just the winner of round 2. It's got to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. You missed that. But we'll take both of those round winners, throw them into the Boner Dome at 9:20 for Boner Fight. That's when you will decide boner of the day. 1, 2, or 3, round 2. Pick your champion now. Remember the candidate number of the one you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. You can call 877-602-9696 or go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting November 6 and vote there. All right, easy to do. Less than 300 seconds to do it. This is round 2. Let's go.
When Carrie, Bill, and Gina run out of things to bitch about, we give you a 1-hour nonstop music wingding at 10 a.m. on X96.
You've reached the offices of Carrie and me, Bill, the Radio from Hell guys. And if you have anything to say to us, we're not picking up, so wait for the beep.
All right, punch in the code.
We should change that message.
Yeah, tell it what we want to do. It'll rewind.
Better man.
And play back our messages.
Anybody's called me.
All right, let's see.
Add it. Oh, there's one.
Hello, Bill. It's me, your mother.
My mom.
Now,
Hi, Mom.
You know that I don't mind you staying here at the house with me and your father,
Thanks,
but
Mom.
you've got to stop hiding the cat.
What?
Bill, if you're there, you'd better pick up. Bill?
Are you hiding?
Where did you put that damn cat? You little bastard, where did you hide my cat?
Would you give her back her cat?
Carrie, this is Bill. And because you refuse to talk with any of your family or friends about this,
Don't
they've
listen to
asked
this one.
me to be their spokesman.
Well,
and because you won't talk to me about it face to face, I'll do it here on the answering
What?
machine.
I forgot
Carrie,
this.
please, don't have the surgery.
Oh, come on.
Think about it. We're not talking about something that's temporary. This is major surgery.
Don't
Once
do
you
it.
have this done, you can't go back to the way you were.
This is
It's
nobody's
forever.
business
Please,
but mine.
If you
all
won't
right?
listen to us, please talk to your therapist about it.
I already
don't have the surgery.
Would you just
Bye.
look? This is
I'm
none of you
sorry
guys.
that was on the air, but
None of you guys' business.
Hello?
hey, it's my dad.
Bill? It's me,
That's Warren.
Warren.
Yes.
I'm your father.
Father. Yeah.
Now, I know I don't talk very much, but I'd like to say that I'm really grateful that you've done something with your mother's
Cat.
I really don't care for that
Cat. He doesn't like the
It's
cat.
always trying to sleep on my face and suck my breath out.
That's true, actually.
What
It's,
he's eating there. Jeez.
Hello, this is Dr. Stevenson's office calling for Carrie Jackson.
Oh.
Mr. Jackson, I called to tell you that OR has been scheduled for your surgery.
Oh, good.
The operation will be January 23rd. That's a Monday.
Hey,
come on,
Report to
Carrie.
hospital check-in at 12 noon.
12 noon.
Surgery is scheduled for 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Your
What a
estimated
dope.
hospital recovery time will be about a week,
You're a
depending on
dope.
how fast you
Hey,
heal.
shut up,
If you
all
have any
right?
questions, please call us
You're
here
a
at the
dope
doctor's
to do
office.
it.
This is
Thank you.
nobody's business but mine.
Dope
all
to
right?
do it.
Hello, Mr. Allred. This is Bob Appleby, head of product research and development for the Loveco Cosmetics Company.
Are you selling
We'd
co-
like to thank you for the donation of the fine cat. Thanks to you and your generosity, we'll be able to test a new line of mascara that will at last be safe and non-toxic on human eyes.
you gave the cat-
As a token of our appreciation, we're sending you a year's
What?
supply of Loveco lipsticks in assorted colors and flavors.
You gave
Thanks again for your support.
your mother's cat.
A year's supply of lipstick. Cool. That's great.
Harry, hi, this is Miss Miller, your psychiatrist.
Oh.
You missed your appointment yesterday, so
I
I
know.
wanted to call you and tell you I think you're making a big mistake.
Told you.
Do
Look.
not go through with the surgery.
Look.
Told
Look,
ya.
I know your hero is Captain Kirk. I know how much you admire Captain Kirk. But for the love of God, having plastic surgery to make you look like Captain Kirk is psychotic.
Told ya.
Don't have the surgery.
Told ya.
You-
Call me at the office as soon as you get this. Thanks.
You people say...
She's a paid professional.
That's all the messages.
I don't think we should do this again.
I think you're right.
For very
with geek news specialist Carrie Jackson.
All right, time to award round 2 of your boner voting,
which is brought to you in part by, I guess, Manhattan.
And dubbed the Jon Stewart of the Arab world, cardiothoracic surgeon Bassem Youssef created the first political satire show in the Middle East. One night only, November 27th at Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org.
So there was boner candidate number 1. I'm not trying to suppress, exactly, allegations of voter suppression or harassment in Garfield County at the Hell's Backbone Grill. Boner candidate number 2. Get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike. Christian TV host. Where does he do his Christian TV hosting? Broadcaster Rick Wiles.
On the TV? I don't know.
I don't know what.
I don't have those channels, so.
I don't know where but he claims that if Democrats win, you're going to see Christians being slaughtered and Trump's and his family being decapitated on the lawn of the White House by Rachel Maddow.
Let's test that theory and see if it comes true.
Oh, man. And boner candidate number 3, you women are taking all the fun out of working here, Under Armour employees, because women were complaining that, they get to use their company credit cards to take clients to strip clubs.
Can I use my card to go to the spa?
But you just want to trade off?
Yeah. I don't care if you go to a strip club, if I can go get a facial.
That's okay. That would be a happy trade-off. No. Mark Hammond won the boner T-shirt, and the winner, boner candidate number 2, get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike.
There you go. Is that the one you predicted?
Yeah.
All right. That's the winner of round 2. It now goes up against the winner of round 1's voting. We're going to take both of those boner winners and throw them into the boner fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided by you. Coming up, we got Tuesday Tunes with Todd. Stay tuned for that.
You had a psychological evaluation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, I did.
You wanted to tell us about it?
I did. I thought... Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I thought something else was happening.
So this was for your back surgery.
Yeah, so I had this. They did this test to see if they put electrodes along my spine, if it will reduce pain that I have in my foot because of spine surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they have to do this, I guess, because of the insurance requires it to. I don't know. They just. To make sure I'm not faking or...
Which I don't get, because it's not like you were trying to get, like, Percocet.
I don't.
You were...
I don't know either.
You were opting in for a
Yeah.
surgery to put wires in your back.
I don't know. Let's see if it says here at the beginning. Mr. Rod, candidacy for spinal cord stimulator, information for his evaluation. It doesn't really... Report of psychological evaluation. It was conducted by a licensed psychologist. I won't give you her name, but here it is. So I just highlighted a couple of... I said to the doctor, can I have my psychological profile? It was 2 hours of psychological testing, both...
And you paid for it.
Yeah,
so.
both an interview and a written test.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, sure. So I took... so the assessment included a clinical interview and the Million Behavioral Medicine Diagnostic and Patient Health Questionnaire. Beck Anxiety Inventory as well. See how anxious I am. So it says, Mr. Allred is from Salt Lake City. He arrived on time for his scheduled appointment.
Wow.
The patient was neatly dressed in casual clothing and was appropriately groomed. He was pleasant and cooperative during the interview. So kind of different than I am here. Huh? Here's another highlight. Medication and substance abuse history. That's section.
Okay. All right.
I've just highlighted a couple of things. He says he drinks 2 ounces of pickle juice before bed to reduce leg cramps at night. It's true.
Is that substance abuse or is
that... it says here, I do take an anti-inflammatory, and it lists the medications that I take. Here, some more. Says the patient says he tried marijuana for pain. Oh, he used marijuana as a teenager. More recently, he tried marijuana for pain, but did not like how it made him feel. He denied the use of any other illicit substances. He has
was denied in capitals?
No.
Yeah.
Denied the use of any other illicit substances. History of misusing medication or running out of medication early was denied.
Sounds like you were accused.
I know. Well, she asked, so have you ever misused any medications? No.
Like you're going to say yes.
Well, but
if the point of this is to try to see whether you're getting surgery you don't need, wouldn't you say, like you'd say, yeah, I run out of my prescriptions all the time.
But combined with other things and the written, they have ways of telling whether you're lying or not. They really do. Then it says here, this is under the psychological history section, and there are just a couple of highlights. He described his marriage as good,
not great,
just good.
That's good.
Hobbies listed: reading, watching television, current events. And he has some friends that he enjoys getting together with for dinner.
You have one friend.
I have some friends that I enjoy getting together with for dinner. It says it right here. Then it says current emotional status and stability.
Okay.
Ready for this? Although there was no formal cognitive testing, his memory appears adequate for the purposes of this evaluation. Insight and judgment are intact.
Intact.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
But they're intact.
Yeah, they're intact. As it describes his marriage as intact. That should be. There is a sleep disturbance with initial insomnia and multiple awakenings attributed to restlessness and pain. He acknowledged an irregular sleep schedule. On a typical night, he gets 6 hours of sleep or less. Irritability was endorsed.
What does that mean?
It means I say I'm irritable sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Coping styles. Okay.
All right.
Is yelling a coping style?
What? I mean, what do you mean by that? Self-confident, easygoing in his relationships with others. What are you laughing about? He's reasonably well-balanced psychologically.
He's reasonably well-balanced.
And I like this. I thought this was interesting because of the way they couch this, and is capable of coping with minor stress and discomfort. He's likely to find a chronic illness less problematic than most people. However, efforts may be required to gain his cooperation with treatment regimens if he has a major illness. So if I get really sick,
how could she tell that?
This is because of the written.
Oh.
It's like 200 questions.
And it's a written thing?
Well, you just fill in little. They ask you 200 different questions.
I hate homework.
Yeah, and it's just yes, no, maybe, or something like that. It says there is a low risk of medication abuse. The patient scored a favorable direction on his comfortable and in a favorable direction on his and at ease regarding ongoing life events. He had an upbeat effect, optimism for the future, and perception of family and friends who care about him.
You have optimism for the future?
Apparently, there were evaluations on scales suggesting catastrophizing and problematic compliance. What does that mean?
It doesn't sound like you have hope for the future.
There is no evidence of significant psychological distress. There were elevations on scales suggesting catastrophizing and problematic compliance.
Really, for this to be a complete evaluation, she should have interviewed me and Carrie.
I'll call her if you'd like. I'd be happy to call her.
Liar!
We spend more time with you than anybody else.
I'd be happy to have you get a hold, but I guess it's all water under the bridge now because I passed.
Well, get us a copy of the test.
It's pretty. I think it's available online. It's called MILLON Behavioral Medicine Diagnostic.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how I came out on that. Crash southbound I-15 at the I-15-I-215 junction. The center lane is blocked. Crash northbound I-15 1200 north in Lehigh. Crash westbound I-215 5th East in Salt Lake. Crash northbound I-15 800 north in Orem. The right lane is closed there. That's traffic.
All right. Okay, we'll be back with Tuesday Tunes with Todd right after this. Stand by. I got to tell you about what's happening downtown.
Oh, the Downtown Alliance. Yeah, the Winter Farmers Market at the Rio Grande. Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can shop for fresh produce, including apples, greenhouse tomatoes, greens and squash, pumpkins, and more. Holiday art and craft market, perfect for gifts for Christmas time start. And I think they have, how Gina likes to put a different wreath on her door for different holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have that kind of stuff.
Oh, at the farmer's market.
Yeah. Oh. Small batch products like artisanal breads, honey, meat, cheese, and much more.
Ooh, I want a hot piece of bread with honey.
Yeah. So go to the Downtown Farmers Market, the Winter Market, at the Rio Grande, Saturday starting this weekend, I think.
Is it this weekend?
It says November 10th, but isn't Saturday the 9th?
Yes. No.
It's the 10th.
Is it
It's the 10th, yeah,
Okay.
because today's the 6th.
Okay. So it's November 10th through April 20th at the Rio Grande Train Depot. You can learn more at slcfarmersmarket.org.
We want to put $500 in your pocket. Listen to X96 every Thursday at 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. for the keyword that will help you win.
Today, we examine another group of words used by most Utahns called L words, or words that end in ELL. And to help you with today's lesson, each time an L word is used in the following dialogue, a bell will sound. Imagine, if you will, our two friends, LeVar and LeGrand, together in LeVar's trailer house. The TV is on. A conversation ensues. Again, these are L words.
I love this TV show.
Yeah.
I am so glad that someone is showing the reruns of McKell's Navy.
Me too. You know, I would just love to set sail with McKell myself. Hey, you remember the one when the wacky crew of PT Boat 73 tried to save that beached well?
Oh, yeah. They had a hard time because of this big storm.
Yeah.
Gale force winds and hail stones the size of golf balls.
Yeah, yeah.
But they saved that well anyway. McKell did not fall.
Well, no thanks to Gruber. Yeah, that was quite a tell, though. Hey, listen, give me some of them snacks, would you? I'm hungry.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
What?
Trell mix.
Yeah.
You're not going to like this, LeGrand, but Trell mix makes me thirsty for just one thing.
You're not going to be drinking beer in front of me, are you, LeVar?
Oh, no. I'm going to have me a glass of L.
L is beer?
Yeah, but this is pretty mild. It's that Pell L from Squatters. It's so mild I can drink a whole bucket of it.
You'd get drunk if you drunk a whole Pell of Pell L. Then you'd get throwed in jail, and I'd have to bail you out. Oh, hey, looky here what I got in the mail. It's a flyer from Deseret Book. It says here that Dan Quell is coming to town to sign copies of his new book.
Boy, the liberals sure rode Bush and Quell out of Washington on a rel.
Sure did.
They fought tooth and nail, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear that this new book of his really lifts the veil of secrecy about Washington life and what really went on. You know, I'd like to see him. What Deseret Book is he at?
Well, the one by that big jewelry store.
Big jewelry store. You mean Morgan's Jewelers?
Nope. Zell's. thanks a lot for answering our ad. Look, we've got a lot of other people to interview, so we'll just let you know, okay? Loser.
God, what a bunch of no-loads. I mean, we haven't had one single applicant that I'd even consider hiring. Why are they so bad?
I just think it shows you the quality of people who read the paper.
Yeah.
Losers, all of them.
I don't know. Maybe it's the way the ad is worded. How does it read?
I think I wrote it just the way we talked about. Look, here it is.
Okay.
Oh, listen, we need a new stalker. Do you think you have what it takes? If so, apply in person to Kerry and Bill, the Radio from Hell guys at X96. Previous stalking experience is not required. We will train. X96 is an equal opportunity employer.
That's pretty straightforward. Guess I'm just getting discouraged. I don't think we're ever going to find anybody to replace the old guy.
Well, now, we both agreed that no matter how much we liked him, it would just be stupid of us to wait for him to get out.
Oh, all right.
We're just going to have to keep looking.
Okay. Lori, send in the next applicant, please.
Oh, hello, boys.
Hello, Chunga. Send in the next applicant, will you? We're in a hurry.
No, you don't understand. I am the next applicant.
What? Oh my God, you're serious? You want to stalk us?
We.
You're not impressing us by speaking French.
No, I mean we want to stalk you. All 10 of my personalities, including Tina the lap dancer. Let's look at this logically, boys. I'm already on the payroll. I know your phone numbers and where you live. And I can gut and skin a rabbit in less than 2 minutes. And you guys probably don't know this, but I've seen both of you naked. Lots of times. And, well, I love you.
Hey, that wasn't bad. What do you think, Bill? He's creeping me out.
Well, let's try the phone test.
Okay.
All right, pretend that it's 3 a.m. There's a thunder and lightning storm going on. My phone rings. I pick it up, and it's you, Chunga. What do you say?
Hello, Bill. Want to go to a jazz game?
No! Doesn't work.
No.
Try again. Phone rings. Ring. I pick it up. It's you. What do you say, Chunga?
Bill, it's me, Chunga. Want to go over to Cummings and watch them hand-dip chocolates?
Not even scary. Not scary at all. I'm sorry, Chunga. You just don't have what it takes. Look, send in the next one, would you?
Oh, come on, you guys. I know you don't like all the other stalker candidates. They stink. Besides, there's only one guy left in the lobby, and it's Frank Layton wearing one of his wife's old moo-moos, and his face is smeared with red lipstick.
Red lipstick, huh? Well, we'll send him in.
Mr. Layton, the boys will see you now.
Hello, girls!
It's one of the most hotly debated public lands issues of the past several decades. The reintroduction of the gray wolf into Yellowstone National Park. Now, a similar controversy is brewing in Utah's state capital. Tonight on PBS, Frontline looks at the movement to reintroduce penguins into Salt Lake City. As recently as 40 years ago, Magellanic penguins roamed free in the tree-lined neighborhoods of Salt Lake's Avenues district. The flightless birds had few natural enemies, and their huge flocks were a common sight. But unrestricted hunting, family pets turned predator, and encroaching civilization all took their toll on these funny, waddling creatures, and they eventually became extinct in Salt Lake City. Join Frontline correspondents as they talk to the old-timers who still remember what it was like when penguins walked the Abs.
Well, what I remember most was the mess. Now, there were some that thought the penguins was cute. That is until they lived up here and had to clean up all the poop.
Oh, I do miss 'em. I remember when I was just a little shaver.
You'd fall asleep to the sounds of 'em making that weird call they do. It was kind of scary. And kind of romantic, too, when you think about it.
Frontline will talk to the people who want to bring the Penguins back to Salt Lake and to those who oppose it.
The penguins were here as a natural part of the environment. The delicate ecosystem of the Avenues District and of Capitol Hill, for that matter, will remain out of balance until the penguins are brought back. Well, most of us in law enforcement in Salt Lake are against reintroducing the penguin into the city. I mean, we've got our hands full already, what with the gangs and such. Besides, a pack of them little bastards killed my grandfather's brother years ago. You know, they say that penguins are shy and won't approach humans, but I know different.
Will the Penguins return to Salt Lake City? It's an in-depth look at the entire issue tonight on Frontline.
every 3 months for just $5. And it's one of the many reasons why I love Quip. They're backed by over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/X96 right now, you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. So go there and be sure to do the /X96 there so that you get the deal and we get the credit, and you can see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Quip electric toothbrush. So your first refill pack free at getquip.com/X96. That's GETQUIP.com/X96.
We're giving away an iPad every weekday in the Mac Warehouse Apple Harvest. And you get an iPad.
Hello, kiddies. It's me, your old friend, the bookkeeper. I'm here to help you with your taxes. Today, we're going to hear a tale from the old ledger which should simplify on how to fill out those pesky forms. Pay close attention now, so you won't have to pay even more later.
You can come on in now, Mr. Irvine.
Thank you. You can call me Lemar.
Lemar. Okay. My secretary said you had some questions concerning your tax forms?
Well, yeah. There ain't enough places on this here 1040A. I was wondering if there was a special form or maybe a separate schedule I should fill out.
Enough places for what?
My wives.
Oh, you should only list your current wife on your tax forms. Your ex-wife will have to file separately.
Ex-wife? I ain't never been divorced.
You have more than one wife.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. There ain't no place on this here farm to list all my wives. Not to mention the fact they don't leave you enough places to list your children either.
How many wives do you have?
6. But the 2 youngest haven't turned 18 yet, so I figure I'll list them as dependents.
Oh my. You're going to just have to list your first wife on your 1040, and then we'll file separate forms with the other ones, listing them as single head of household.
Well, now wait one darn minute there, Sonny. No woman of mine is going to claim to be the head of my household. I won't stand for it.
Now, it's only a classification. They won't really be heads of households. I mean, think of it. 5 women with no income and children to claim. You should get quite the refund, Lemar.
Lemar. That would be dishonest. I'm a God-fearing man. I couldn't cheat the government like that.
You do know that polygamy is against the law, don't you?
Yeah. Big refund, you say?
Very big.
Where do I sign?
You see, kiddies, everyone can get a refund just so you know which deductions to take. And if you're willing to sit through a very long audit. As for Lemar, prison might be a vacation when you compare it to having 6 wives reminding you to wipe your feet and take out the trash. Well, this is your old friend, the bookkeeper, reminding you that on midnight on April 15th, that is the cutoff.
Pell Show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, remember that info. You're going to need it coming up to vote for Boner of the Day when Boner Fight happens in about 6 minutes from now. So until then, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by...
Go to Hale, Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air for a $49 furnace tune-up, which includes a 19-point safety inspection. Scott Hale, amazingly different, surprisingly better, scotthale.com.
You know, I was going to stop subscribing to New York Magazine, but geez, I just picked it up. I subscribed to it for about a year now, and I very seldom get a chance to read it because I'm too busy. But here, look at this. Vote, it says, why young people don't vote. And then a bunch of reasons why they should. And I just started looking at this. What's at stake this November and why young people should vote? Student loans. Should the government help ease your student loan debt? The Democrats are the only party that has exhibited any interest in providing relief to student debtors. If the GOP has a good night on November 6th, the Republicans, it'll likely lock Democrats out of a Senate majority, and you're going to be paying back every cent. This is not to say you should not pay back your loans, but the terms of student loans are exceedingly unfair, and you get fairer loans are given to people in business all the time.
Yeah.
Gerrymandering. Which party should get to decide how much your vote counts? Whichever party wins the bulk of the 36-state gubernatorial races still have a greater hand at setting electoral district boundaries. Voting laws. Who will get to vote in the future? 9 states will vote on proposals shaping access to the ballot. Immigration. Should states and cities work with federal authorities? This November, Oregon voters will have the opportunity to repeal their sanctuary state law. Meanwhile, the outcome of mayoral elections in several cities could influence how much cooperation police departments give to ICE. Health insurance. Should the market decide what you pay for your health insurance, kids? Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he intends to revive efforts to repeal Obamacare. If the Republicans win, the House has already proposed a bill that would remove limits on what insurers can charge those with pre-existing conditions. Abortion. Should access to abortion be restricted? I think we know what would happen if Republicans win. Marijuana. Should you be able to legally smoke marijuana? Food stamps. Should the government help you eat if you fall on hard times? The Republicans don't want to help you eat if you fall on hard times. Global warming. Should you have any chance of living on a planet that isn't a hellscape? Huh?
Yeah.
Should you? So, those are just reasons that if you're 18, you should vote. Brothel owner Dennis Hoff was laid to rest on Monday at the Happy Homestead Cemetery in South Lake Tahoe, California.
Lake Tahoe, huh?
Mr. Hoff, whose favorite color was red, chose his bright candy-colored apple coffin several years before he died. The small private service started at 2 p.m., lasted an hour, only 15 people attending. It was a far cry from Saturday's memorial at the Casino Fandango in Carson City, Nevada, which was attended by about 500 people. His longtime confidant and general manager for his brothels, Madame Suzette Cole, arrived an hour before anyone else with her dog Sophie. A few minutes later, Bob Zamuda, founder of Comic Relief USA, arrived. They took a seat facing the casket and spent several minutes talking and reminiscing about all the times they'd had with Dennis. They both, at one point, Ms. Cole stood up. She walked over to the casket and put an arm on it, then continued to walk around it while her arm remained touching the casket at all times.
Ron Jeremy was there.
Yeah.
And do you see the flowers, Bill? There's a special flower arrangement.
I can't quite see what you're asking me to look at.
It was roses shaped like, I don't have it here. Shaped like bunnies.
Oh, yeah. Shaped like two bunnies doing it.
But in roses.
Roses, yeah.
So.
And Dennis was there, Ron was there, the hedgehog was there. So, confused supporters of President Trump began chanting 4 more years during a rally at Cape Girardeau, Missouri on Monday evening, seemingly confusing Tuesday's midterm elections with the 2020 presidential race. Trump supporters want their dear leader in office for 4 more years, should we tell them he's only been in office for 2? As one would expect, Twitter users leapt at the chance to remind the attendees that the president has been in office for 2 years.
It feels like 4.
Wouldn't be appearing on any of Tuesday's ballots. Admittedly, I'm terrible at math, but shouldn't they be chanting 6 more years? Someone wrote, shouldn't they? This is it. Today is the voters' day, and America gets some answers. Will Beto O'Rourke pull off the upset of the year and beat Senator Ted Cruz of Texas in the 2018 midterms? They're running pretty close, neck and neck, but probably not. Even as much as everyone hates Ted Cruz, even the Republicans in his own state hate him, Beto O'Rourke has kind of blown his chance. He should have run a little bit more conservative campaign. And
you mean rather than be honest?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And rather than speak his mind completely. But because he scared, I think he just scared people who might have voted for him because they don't like Ted. The people who, even the voters don't like Ted Cruz. They realize
his wife doesn't like him.
They realize that he's an alien from the outer space living in a skin suit.
His kids
a human
don't
skin
like
suit.
him.
Candidates and judges and more here in Utah. The most closely watched race in the state is the neck-and-neck contest between Mia Love, the incumbent, and her Democratic challenger, Salt Lake County Mayor Ben McAdams. Recent polling has shown them tied, or maybe McAdams slightly ahead, but it's anybody's guess who's going to win.
That one we may not know for days.
Of course, Mitt Romney and Jenny Wilson. It's, Mitt is probably a lock. Shireen Gabani and what's his name, Shorty Chris Stewart, probably.
Why are you saying that? Why are you speculating?
It's a little more competitive.
We don't know. No, nobody's won anything yet.
I've read polls. I
Not
know.
everyone's voted yet.
I do know one thing.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
Mm-hmm. Make no mistake, I would really love to see Shireen win.
It's not over. It's election day today. People are voting today.
So we have boner candidate number 1. It's got the stink of 7 o'clock on it. And here it is. It won 7 o'clock hour. I've been endorsed by the right God. Todd Zenger running for Utah State Legislature against Patrice Arendt. She has been a Democratic congresswoman from the Mill Creek area. I think this is her 4th term. She's been around for a long time. People like her. And Zenger is trying to win by passing out a flyer with a controversial religious message on it, one that members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints would recognize as a passage from the Book of Mormon. And he's apologized for doing that, but he did it.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. And so that's number 1. Even Governor Herbert, a member of Mr. Zenger's own party, said, I don't condone this at all, and Patrice Arendt is a good woman. And then that goes against number 2, get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike. Christian TV host claiming that Rachel Maddow will lead a coup and decapitate Trump if the Democrats win. That's number 2.
All right, you got to decide of these 2 candidates which one is the worst and deserves to be boner of the day. 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number. Put that number in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Call 877-602-9696 or go online and look for the box that says Boner Fight November 6 and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It'll appear. Let's go. 300 seconds. Boner of the day.
Start your workday at 10 a.m. with a 1-hour
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! In this episode, we find an old adversary of Butch and Lehigh planning their demise.
So, bounty hunter, you will bring me Christiansen?
Jabba the Hutt was very fond of his rancor. He would pay me more for a complete set of missionaries.
Christiansen made me look weak in front of the Emperor. Only by turning Christiansen to the dark side will I be able to regain my place by the Emperor's side.
One Elder Jensen.
Sell him to that slug, Jabba. I have arranged to have the Elders meet you on Bespin. There you can ambush them without anyone noticing.
If these Elders bested you and the Emperor, how do you expect me to transport them back to you?
I prefer my Elders frozen. There is a carbonite facility on Cloud City. That should make transporting them simple.
Have my credits ready. I'll be right back.
Here we are, Butch. Cloud City. It sure looks like the holograms they showed us in school.
I don't know, Lehigh. I always get nervous when I stand on a city that's floating miles above the surface. Are you sure this is the right place?
Zone Leader Hanson said that we're supposed to meet someone here named Lando Calrissian, right here on Bespin.
Well, church records on this Calrissian fellow show him to be a gambler, smuggler, womanizer, and a penny stock manipulator. Are you sure this is the guy?
Well, maybe he's ready to turn over a new leaf. Oh, I think that's him right there.
Hi, and welcome to Cloud City. I'm Lando Calrissian. I run the mining operation here on Bespin. Could I offer you a beverage? Perhaps some malt?
I love a malt.
Liquor?
Oh, no, we don't drink, Mr. Calrissian. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
Now, our zone leader said that you might be interested in learning more about our religion.
Actually, no. We have some common acquaintances. I've made a deal with the Empire. Well, they'll leave me alone if I introduce you to this guy over here. Elders, this is Boba Fett. Boba Fett, Elders Christiansen and Jensen there. Gotta go now. Got a city to run. Bye-bye.
Well, Mr. Fett was up. Well, hi, I'm... Hey, I'm all tied up.
Cool toy. I need to get me one of those. We could convert more people if we could just tie them up first.
Now, Butch, I don't think we would be allowed to hog-tie prospective converts. Excuse me, Mr. Fett, could you untie me now?
One down, one to go.
Don't push my companion in that hole!
Whoa!
What have you done to my companion? Is Butch dead?
No, he wouldn't be worth much to me dead. Jabba wants to see him die in person. Your companion is frozen in carbonite. Now, if you would be so kind as to throw yourself down in there, we can get on with this.
You're going to take us both back to Jabba's palace?
No, you have an appointment with Darth Vader and the Emperor.
Cousin Darth? Oh, my.
Hey, get over here.
Sorry about this, Butch, but I need you to do something for me.
Don't push me.
Ah!
Oh, I guess you weighed more than I thought in this thing, Butch. I'm sorry, Mr. Fett. I hope my companion, who's now frozen in carbonite, wasn't too heavy. Oh, geez, what do I gotta do now? I better go for some help.
Never leave your companion, Lehigh.
Mr. Kenobi?
It is the first rule. You must never leave your companion.
Obi-Wan, come back. I need some help. Oh, well, I guess I can put you on my luggage rack like this, Butch. Come on, let's go. Will Butch be able to serve out the rest of his mission frozen in carbonite? Can Lehigh really find a big microwave to defrost him in? Will Darth Vader ever get his revenge and once again become the Emperor's favorite lapdog? And where does Boba Fett get all those neat gizmos? Tune in next time to hear Butch say... on the next mind-numbing episode of Space Elders!
All right, time to award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you by...
in part.
In part by... Let's see, how about a black swan pavlova?
I don't know what that is.
It's a dessert.
What sort of dessert?
How about a full rack of lamb bracelet with roasted vegetables?
That's good.
Or a roasted, how about an oven roasted foie gras with sunny side eggs?
You didn't have any of that.
No, I'm reading about it in this magazine.
Oh, okay.
And Bassem Youssef at Kingsbury Hall on Tuesday, November 27th. Tickets are available at utahpresents.org.
So, okay, I thought that. Yeah, okay. Boner candidate number 1, I've been endorsed by the right God, says Todd E. Zenger, the Utah candidate with a controversial religious flyer. It was a dog whistle flyer,
Yep.
a dog whistle that was heard by members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He just wanted all of those voters to let all of those voters know that he was a member of the right club, and Patricia Arendt is not. She's Jewish and a Democrat. And that's went up against Boner candidate number 2. Get ready for the slaughter and Trump's head on a pike. So says a Christian television broadcaster. Very Christian of him. If the Democrats win in the midterms today, he is sure, led by Rachel Maddow, Christians will be slaughtered and the Trump family will be decapitated on the White House lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Locke won the Bassem Youssef tickets and can share a chocolate swan pavlova with me. And the winner, Boner candidate number 1, I have been endorsed by the right God.
All right. That's your Boner of the Day for November 6, 2018. It is now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That will happen on Friday at about this time.
So you've seen this movie.
Yeah.
So I just happened to stumble across just looking through this New York magazine, and I hadn't heard anything about this, that Peter Dinklage is playing Hervé Villechaize in a movie on HBO, My Dinner with Hervé.
Mm-hmm.
And now, for people who may not remember Hervé Villechaize, this is the little person who played with Ricardo Montalban on Fantasy Island.
Tattoo.
Yeah, Tattoo.
Which I used to love.
Mm-hmm. He did some other things, but that's what he was most famous for.
Yeah.
And he was also he was a jerk.
He was an a-hole.
Yeah, he packed a gun all the time.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. He treated women poorly.
Yeah.
He, he got married to this one woman. He begged her to marry him, and then he cheated on her immediately. And
I saw him in some really terrible exploitation film too, where babes with guns. And,
yeah.
But Fantasy Island was a show, if
Yeah.
you don't know, where you fly to this island and they make your fantasy. You want to be a rock star.
All your fantasies
or
would come
you
true.
want to be.
It was really stupid.
And the fantasy never turned out the way that people thought it should.
Yeah.
And
But
there
you
were
learned a moral
lessons
lesson.
learned.
it was important to teach a lesson in Tattoo.
I couldn't stand that show.
The
Hated
real,
it.
the crime of this movie is the guy that got to play Ricardo Montalban. I don't even know who it is, but he was terrible.
You're gonna make me
He
look.
didn't
Mr. Rourke.
Yeah, he didn't even try to do, a proper Ricardo Montalban.
What is it? Me and Hervé? What is
It's
it?
My Dinner with
My
Hervé.
Dinner with Hervé.
But I mean, yes, it's tragic that his mother was embarrassed that he
Oh.
was a little person.
Do you know who it is? It's your 50 Shades of Grey guy, Jamie Dornan.
Jamie
No,
Dornan.
he's terrible.
He's a terrible actor anyway.
He was terrible. So they're at the movie premiere of the James Bond movie that he was in, and he's fighting.
Hervé,
He's fighting with James Bond, and the audience is laughing, and his mother's embarrassed because he's a little person, and that's tragic. And it's tragic that when he lost his job, that people would still stop him in the street and ask him to do the line, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? He was an a-hole. He thought that he was the reason that show was successful.
Oh no!
And he demanded more money.
Peter Andy Garcia is Ricardo Montalban.
Oh, see, I was going to say that sounded wrong. No,
yeah, Jamie Dornan plays some other. He's the star of the show. That's why I thought it was him.
Jamie Dornan plays the interviewer, the guy who interviews Hervé Villachez.
Andy Garcia.
Yeah, he was terrible as Ricardo Montalban. But yeah, Hervé Villachez, yes, tragic, but at the same time, his own fault. Everything.
What's the point of this thing?
I don't know.
It's just a
really.
biopic.
Just a biopic.
Were people clamoring for a...
I don't know. Maybe they were clamoring for Peter Dinklage to play Hervé Villachez. I think that was it.
Somebody in a boardroom said, "Here's what we need to do."
Yeah, because
and it's hard to take it seriously when he had that voice. The voice.
I'm surprised you bothered with
doing
it.
the French. Sue was watching it, and I walked in and.
All right.
Let's sit down. Let's see. So yeah.
It was now. It's like that movie that HBO did with Liberace. That actually was good.
But that was interesting.
And why was that better than this?
I don't know, Scott.
Is it because what's his name was so good?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Just so perfect.
And
in that
so
role.
was the other guy who was playing Scotty, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
They were both great.
The other word, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Star power was.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, not just the star power. Those were good. They were good actors at that.
All right. We'll be back in a moment. I got to tell you about Grove.co. That's the website. It is that time of year again, the holiday season, which means it's time for you to get Mrs. Meyer's exclusive offer from Grove before it runs out, and it will run out. You can select your favorite holiday scents, Iowa pine, peppermint, or orange clove. That's what I suggest is the orange clove. And new customers will get the holiday set when you place your first order of $20. You're going to get the free Mrs. Meyer's Holiday Hand Soap, the free Mrs. Meyer's Holiday Dish Soap, the free Mrs. Meyer's Holiday Multi-Surface Spray. You'll get the Glove Collaborative Red Cleaning Caddy and the Glove Collaborative Walnut Scrubber Sponges. I have those. Those are great. Plus, if you spend $39, you'll also receive a free Grove Stoneware Tray and beautiful display for your new holiday soaps. Oh, and it's the lavender soap that I like.
Oh, I like that.
I'll tell you about it later. Shop Grove before this exclusive holiday offer runs out. This stuff will be all gone come December. I'll bet before that. For a limited time, our listeners who sign up get an amazing free Mrs. Meyer's holiday products, the free 60-day VIP membership, and a surprise bonus gift just for you when you sign up and place your order of $20 or more. Check out Grove.co. Take a look at their website, see all the products that they have available. And check out Grove for our special offer at grove.co/X96. You got to do the /X96 so that you get the deal and so that we get credit. That's grove.co, not com. Grove.co/X96.
Here at X96, we're not going to pretend that we're the smartest people in the room.
Animals Part 2.
Well, yes. If they have digestive systems, it'll happen.
As the Washington Post reported, there's a new hashtag making the rounds through the science Twitterverse. Hashtag Does It Fart? Which, as you may have guessed, is here to answer any and all questions about which animals are capable of passing gas.
Well, I would say just
Not
about
all.
any.
No, not all.
Really?
Yeah,
It's part of digestion. If you digest.
Which animals cut the cheese?
Okay.
Well,
Okay, I don't know which ones do. I want to know the ones that don't.
tons do, of course. Bats, rats, all that. The bigger they are, the harder they fart.
Of course.
Bear farts are horrible.
Rats, zebras, bearded dragons are among the creatures that fart. Birds, on the other hand, do not seem to pass gas. Birds.
That actually kind of makes sense.
But they could, let's see, marine invertebrates.
So you should eat like a bird so you don't fart?
Oysters, mussels,
Well,
crabs.
how would they fart?
I don't know.
They don't have a bum.
Well, they eliminate waste.
She said in the most scientific way possible.
They eliminate waste. They take in nutrients and eliminate waste. The hashtag has a purpose beyond making scientists giggle at their own handiwork. The paper explained whether or not a given animal farts is apparently a question that zoo employees often receive from kids who come to the zoo.
Well, yeah.
They ask the questions.
Kids would ask that.
If a little scatological humor keeps kids interested in biology, well, everybody wins. And if the hashtag #DoesItFart has you jonesing for more internet things at the intersection of animals and potty humor, there's always... no, I don't think I can say that one. It's about animals with the weirdest genitalia. Okay.
Now, here's someone who's saying that birds fart because they've heard their cockatiel fart. I don't think you have.
What have you heard?
Maybe it's just making a fart
I think you've
sound.
heard it making a fart sound.
Yeah.
Or they're mimicking you.
Probably
maybe?
imitating you farting.
Yeah.
KRFH Cary. Radio from Hell on X96.
Is it over?
No. Not until the polls close at 8 o'clock.
Oh.
I believe.
It's a season of righting wrongs.
It is?
Of election. Righting.
Oh, okay.
Like last year, People magazine voted Blake Shelton the sexiest man alive.
That was a crime, all right.
We're already on the right track today because People magazine voted Idris Elba sexiest man alive. That is righting a wrong, is what that is. More of that today.
I thought it.
Excuse me.
That's not the name you gave me a second ago.
Who let this person in?
Idris Elba.
Who?
I thought that's not the name you gave me a second ago.
Yes, it is.
Who let this?
What did you think I said?
I thought you said it was Adele Dazeem.
Do you know who Adele Dazeem is?
No.
No. He doesn't get that joke
I know. Who is that?
It's no, let's not even bother. Let's not even
Here's
bother.
what you could do during your show today, John.
Google it. Hang
Google
on.
Adele Dazeem and Idris Elba.
Is this something I can do at work? All right.
Well, you don't work. You don't ever work at work.
Well, I just want to. Oh, that's not him at all.
There, he's.
Oh, I see. It's the John Travolta thing.
Yes. Now you remember?
The John Travolta thing. That's right.
The John Travolta thing.
That's exactly right, sir. So it's nice to educate strangers who wander into the studio, isn't it?
We try.
Listen, if it doesn't have a talking fish or a princess in it, I don't get to watch it at my house. I'm a 4-year-old, man.
What do you got today?
I've got stuff, man. Boy, do I have stuff. So much stuff. The best stuff.
Yes, Mr. Trump.
I haven't looked. I haven't looked.
I knew you haven't.
I'm going to talk about. Some stuff though.
All right.
And I'll give away some stuff.
He's got stuff, and he'll talk about
and,
stuff.
Oh, you know what I do have? Like It or Eat Me. I have. I'm going to get some help from the U92 kids today on Like It or Eat Me.
Really?
Because there's a rapper, and he has an alternative song.
Oh.
But
his name is Adele Dazeem.
His name's Lil Peep.
Oh, Lil Peep.
And then another guy that I can't.
He has an alternative song?
Yeah, and I don't know how to say his name. But the problem is that both of these guys are dead. So
could be.
Why is that a problem?
Well, I don't know how to say their name, and I can't ask them.
Oh.
All right.
So it's like Extension. He has 3 X's.
Oh yeah, he was killed recently.
Yeah. And then Lil Peep died too, so I can't call him either.
All right, let's do the promo and get out of here. X96 is teaming up with Teleperformance and the Utah Food Bank to fight hunger in Utah.
Join us for our all-day broadcast on Wednesday, November 21st at Teleperformance in West Valley, 4650 West, 1991 South.
Start gathering up non-perishable food donations around the house and with your neighbors and coworkers to support X96 as we help fight hunger.
They really need non-perishable canned or boxed food items that are high in protein, like peanut butter, canned beans, rice, lentils, and more. Plus, we'll be taking frozen turkeys and hams during the broadcast.
X96 will be broadcasting live at Teleperformance in West Valley from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. on November 21st. Bring us your donations and you can qualify for prizes, including a Traeger grill.
Get all the details on x96.com.
Good enough? All right.
Yes.
Hope you got that. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
It's Idris Elba.
John Smith is next.
Please keep listening.
Kicking off nothing but great tunes for 60 minutes. A 1-hour nonstop music wingding is on X96.